What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I am your host, Marshalldbdx, accompanied with Kai, Ahmed, Surfer, Scott, and Oliver. And I think something must have happened in the background that I hear Winter Surfer being so giddy right now. We'll find out. You can DM it in private chat. I don't know what's going on, but guys, we're here to recap what's happened since Wednesday in the transfer window. We're doing it on Saturday because I have prior commitments tomorrow, so this is a Saturday special, giving you some news a little earlier than usual. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone watching. Make sure you are smashing that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're well on our way to 1,900 subscribers. Help us get there. Make sure you're checking out the links down below for all our other content, Twitter, Discord, my other YouTube, all that fun stuff is on there. Make sure you're also leaving a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about all the news, your opinions, and what you think is going to happen. And last but not least, make sure you are checking our memberships. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And at this tier, the proper casual and higher tier, you guys get shout outs. So we're going to give shout outs to Winter Surfer, Daniel, Stroudsburg Steve, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, and then Epic Nin, whose name I got to write here. But all right, guys, thank you so much for everything and all the support. Make sure you are using those emojis if you do have them. But let's go ahead and get this show on the road. We're starting off with Manuel Ugarte. Deal done? Well, let's find out. All right, so earlier this week, Manuel Ugarte's transfer process remains stuck due to decision by midfielder between PSG and Chelsea, but it is underway. Yesterday was marked by a new round of contacts between representatives of the Uruguayan and Chelsea. If you guys don't remember, we didn't really offer him the best deal. PSG offered him a way better salary and a higher deal. But Ugarte does want to come to the Premier League. So here we have more from Record Portugal, who has been reliable on this. And if I'm not mistaken, they also broke the news on Enzo coming to Chelsea. So Chelsea have increased their salary offer to Manuel Ugarte. They have now offered 3.5 million euros with various performance-based incentives and bonuses. And if I heard correctly, that's around 60,000 euros a week, right? That would be the salary. So it's a lot better than what he was offered originally, which was I think it was somewhere around 30 something. I don't remember.
38. 38.
Yeah, 38. So Record Portugal earlier today said this, breaking: Manuel Ugarte is Chelsea player. It's done. Now, Fabrizio Romano came out. I will pull up that tweet shortly. He's not confirming it just yet. He might be playing it safe. I don't know. I'll wait for the Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. But as of right now, Record Portugal is saying it's done. Ugarte will earn 3.5 million wages at Chelsea. Our newspaper has more details soon. So, boys, if this is done, how we feeling?
Is that the same paper for the Enzo deal, right? Am I?
Yep. I believe so. Yes, okay, that's what I heard.
Listen, I'm like you. I'll wait until it's like confirmed. But
yeah.
I think it's interesting that I did say in earlier streams, I said we don't have to match PSG's wage offer. We have to get near it.
Yep,
that's the difference. And we did, and we have got near it. And it looks like we got near it. And I don't know what the bonuses are. Do you know what I mean? It's that as well. So I think, listen,
true.
I'm still going to reserve my judgment on Ugarte because I've got to be honest with you guys. Apart from an Arsenal game, I haven't really watched this guy. So.
Which he destroyed Arsenal, didn't he?
Yeah, Arsenal, I know, but I need it. I think it's, if Pochettino's been on it and he wants him and stuff like that, and the profile of what I've read about him is someone that we desperately need in that midfield. So
yeah, he's good.
It's good, man, and I think it's good. I think it's still. I think it's a unique deal that we're not in Europe. We haven't offered the same wage as PSG, and yet he's still chosen us. So I just think good job. If they pull it off, you have nothing, and it works out at the moment. You have nothing but praise from the board at the moment. So it's pretty good start.
Here's the fab tweet, by the way. More on Manuel Ugarte deal. Chelsea hope to fix final details. Get contracts done next week. Club very confident, waiting on final steps, but careful until the end.
Yeah,
a bunch of different Portuguese journalists confirmed that it is done. He already chose Chelsea. Just need to kind of iron out the last details. So it's basically done. And it's also the same journalists who said that Enzo signed for us before he did.
Right.
Same journalist who confirmed Bruno Fernandes to United at the time. So I think it's just a matter. I would be very surprised if he hasn't signed.
Okay. No, that's good.
And I think the thing is as well is like I think I can't remember if this has been brought up before. I know someone has brought up something similar, maybe with this transfer, another transfer. We're now not hearing anything for the PSG. Like apart from the fact of
that's a good point.
apart from the fact that it's like you'll see PSG get mentioned, but only because we've upped our wages or something, or he's thinking about both options. But apart from that, all the updates you're seeing aren't mentioning PSG really.
Plus,
Like,
a lot of people don't put into consideration like the shit that PSG are in now. They might be in the biggest shit than us. They have a lot of issues in that club.
Well, they got a higher manager as well, Kai, haven't they?
Yeah, like, and Campos is one of those guys. You never know what he's really going to do, whether he's going to stay or going to go.
Yeah.
I also think as well, it speaks highly. I know a lot of fans aren't convinced by these owners or the quote unquote project, but that's basically what these guys are selling. Whether it's Enzo, Mudryk, Madueke, Ugarte, anyone else they look at, that's what they are selling, because we don't have Champions League. So the next thing they have to sell is either money, or they're not getting that much money in the grand scheme of things compared to what we used to pay. So the next thing they're selling is the project. And by the looks of things, they're selling it really well. So say what you want about these guys. There's something about this project that they are selling that sounds really enticing.
Plus, I think a lot of people undermine the name, like the reputation that Chelsea has in Europe.
Thank you, Kai.
Who we are as a club in Europe. Like, let's not forget that we are a club that won 2 Champions League in the last 15, 20 years. Other than Real Madrid, doesn't happen that often, man. And
Plus,
maybe Barcelona. So a lot of people forgetting like the Chelsea is still Chelsea. It's the badge, it's the prestige. A lot of people watched Drogba, they watched all these guys. So we're not gonna lose our legacy because of one fucking season. We're not Arsenal, man. We've been at the top of the league, the top of English football, on top of European football for the last 20-something years, man.
I also
we're not gonna
think
lose our reputation because of 1 year, man. It's mad to think that way.
The intervention of, if it's true, look at their pinch of salt, is that we have got a manager who can outlay what he wants him to do, and PSG don't. Then Gautier, and I don't think they allow their managers to speak to the new signings anyway. Probably
they might actually sack their board, Andrew.
That's right.
That's crazy.
I don't know what their summer is, because they've started out by getting rid of Messi and signing Asensio. So I have no idea what their summer's going to be.
And getting rid of, as it was announced.
So they got Ramos going as well.
Ramos is leaving.
So like I said, the manager's going to leave. So I don't know what the
Neymar
issues are there. And you know what? Good. Yeah. Whoa, back off. I don't know what the issues are, but you have to take advantage of them. But if he has signed for less money in terms of wages, I mean, because I don't know what the bonuses are. Maybe they are higher and stuff like that. But I'm fine with that. He wants to play football. He wants to play in the Premier League. And maybe that's a sign of that he wants to play in a better league. Whatever you think about Man City dominating and stuff like that, he wants to play in the tougher league. And I will say that with like South American players and other players like that who come through with not a life of luxury, if you offer them enough money, and like I say, it doesn't have to be like I said, we didn't offer more than PSG.
Yeah, that's the right thing.
If you offer the right type of money, they are going to choose you. And like I said, we've probably just sold our vision to him better. That's all. You know what I mean? So.
Plus, our brand is stronger than people give it credit. I don't think we're that much of a small.
I just wanna what I would like to say is that obviously Vitinha, who plays at PSG, was at Sporting, if I'm not mistaken, last season. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ugarte had sorry.
He came from Porto. He was Wolves last season.
Was it Porto? My bad. I thought it was Sporting. My bad. Oh, sorry, but
do your research, man. Come on.
That's on me. Okay. But the point I was trying to make anyway is that he's probably already seen someone that was in a similar age bracket to him go to PSG and not sort of have the greatest season, the greatest integration anyway. So from that point of view, if I'm Ugarte, why would I go to PSG?
I think I think it's like this player. I think it's obvious that he is what Poch is wanting, because this player wasn't on our radar 2 weeks ago at all. Yeah. He was going to Liverpool. He was actually, remember 2 weeks ago, and they made it sound like he was going to PSG as well. So that was done. I think what it also dictates is that, whatever you think about the signings working out, these guys, I don't think they have a very low percentage point of not getting their targets that they want. These guys have had a good hit rate on getting whatever you think of the players of getting what they want. When they go in for them, we get them. Remember that they got Enzo Fernandez done in like obviously they got him done right at the end of the window, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like now we've got it. Sorry, it looks like Ugarte signed. We have to keep saying
Yeah.
because it's not actually done. So let's not do this. So if they go on to him, CAICEDO will be the next one that the stories ramp up about, and I have no doubt that they will strike a deal for him. Whether that's I won't say if you're going to speak about him later, but I've got no doubt whoever they go for after that as well, that they will strike that as well. So whatever you think about them, the way they run the club and stuff like that, you can't deny that when it comes to transfer negotiations, they're pretty spot on.
Dude, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because you know what I like about this transfer window so far? It's not even started yet, but I know what I like what's happening right now is that it looks like this whole time we have been devising a plan of action. We knew what players we want. We knew what offers we were going to come in with, and we're doing it all quick and fast. And even with the outgoings, which we will talk about very shortly, even with the outgoings, everything's moving quick as hell. When was our last game? Like last week, right?
Yes,
it was Sunday. Last Sunday was our last game, and look at how many players are linked leaving already, and how many deals we're close to getting done already.
Well, I think it's what we're. I'm not sure to interrupt. I think it's what it is. It's like last summer was a total. It wasn't a normal transfer window.
Oh no,
normal summer. They bought the club. Marino and Czech left. They couldn't bring in who they wanted in terms of technical directors. They weren't really communicating well with the manager, stuff like that. And they bought players personally, I think by name and reputation.
Sure.
Instead of actually looking into it, if you look about it. Now, someone might say, well, didn't they do that for the January transfer window? No, there was a plan. Maybe some of the prices were a bit high. But I honestly think they've been sitting with Poch for over a month since that deal was done and going, who do you want? Do you know what I mean? What do you want? Who do you want in? Who do you want out to reshape this squad? Because we are not going to be behind others like we were last summer. Like when pre-season was a disaster,
getting ahead of the game
like that. Let's get who you want in and out, because this season is probably even more important than last season because we're out of Europe, and we need and you're a new manager, and we need everything done, and we need the players to get your style of player, whatever, and as soon as possible, so that we are not rushing around unless it's like a mega deal. We're not rushing around in the last few weeks of the transfer window after the season starts. We want to hit the ground running. So. Yeah, kudos to them so far, man. Let's see what they do for the rest of the transfer window. The outs and the ins, so it's all good.
100%. And like you said, just in terms of one thing, you brought up a little bit one thing we can't be doing, and this comes back to the fact we were kind of slow with our business, especially outgoings last summer. We can't be going into pre-season having guys in the pre-season squad that what we're trying to do basically is have them in the shop window to sell them.
Yeah,
like that can't be happening again. Pre-season is for the guys that are going to be there next season to learn and get them prepared. Like there's no point taking guys like whether that's going to be Aubameyang who's gone, Ziyech, Pulisic. These guys can't be part of the pre-season squad because they're going to go.
No Havertz. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
There's no point in them being there.
True. And just to recap what you guys said, I think some really good points that were brought up is the fact that what Scott said. Look, I know a lot of people want to. A lot of people want to consume this propaganda that Chelsea are ruined, Chelsea are done, the owners have ruined Chelsea and all this. You see it all over Twitter, right?
It doesn't take one season to ruin Chelsea, bro.
It doesn't take one season to ruin Chelsea. Chelsea still is Chelsea by name right now, right? You know, these players aren't stupid. They understand that Chelsea are going through a rough patch, but they know that they have good players. They see that they have good talent. They see that they brought in a proper manager. They see that it is still Chelsea, you know, like it's still one of the greatest clubs in all world football. Like, yeah, we've had a bad season. Doesn't mean that the club is ruined because of one season. Like Kai said, it takes more than one season to ruin Chelsea. You know, we're not doing what Arsenal did, which is just consistent season of just mediocrity and making top 8, top 6. Like, it's not that. You know, we've had a bad season and we're looking to fix things, and it looks like the managers are learning their lessons or the owners are learning their lessons and, you know, improving from that, which is good. That's what we want from them. And the other thing that Scott had mentioned is that the project. Even though we don't have Champions League, even though we don't have all that stuff that entices players to come through, it goes to show that sometimes a proper pitch, a proper project, whatever it is, you know, is enough to convince these players. And I'm all for it. Like Ugarte's not coming here necessarily for the money. He's coming here because it's Chelsea and because he believes in the project.
And because of the Premier League.
And because of the Premier League too. Yeah, that's a big one too. So, hey, I'm all for it. That means he's going to, to me, that tells me that he's going to be like Enzo, a very loyal player for Chelsea going forward.
Where I agree with you, right? I agree with you. It's like it takes like longer than one season to ruin Chelsea, and the owner they are learning from this, and where I saw that they learned from this, they didn't give fucking Pochettino 5 years. They actually gave him 2 years, and that was the first big step, and a plus 1 year, which is the norm in world football for that exact fucking reason, for the reason what happened with Potter. But at the same time, that one season, if they allow it to go to 2 or 3 seasons, that's when your names start to dwindle, right? Like the one year, that's all right. Like it's not going to affect us as much. But the reason why Arsenal before this Champions League wasn't as attractive to clubs, and they were, let's be honest, they were attracting the B tier players, if you want, before they start developing, it's because they've been outside of Champions League for 7 or 8 years. So that's also one of the reasons what we have to avoid. They have to kind of realize, learn from their mistake, and realize that we can't keep that from going. I don't think a lot of football fans, a lot of actual people, like, yes, we're gonna have some fans who they have very low IQ who's gonna get annoyed about, Mount is not gonna be part of Chelsea, Havertz not gonna be part of Chelsea, but it's still gonna be Chelsea, right? And it's now up to them to build a project that's gonna make the fans happy, that's gonna make us proud, of the club that we support. But that's gonna go on them. They're gonna have to start doing that. We're not here to have a PR, right? Because the thing with football is it's not like the same thing with corporate where you can hide your secrets. All your secrets are gonna come sooner or later outside of the pitch, right? Because we are gonna play games, and we are gonna be measured based on our success. So let's see where they go from here, man. Exactly. We have to get the Champions League because that's also a measurement of success.
Yep.
So for them, they have to get to work. I'm glad they're starting to go quick and kind of fix the issues with the midfield which you had in a while. And let's see where we go from here. I think they're doing the right thing. The Havertz and Mount today, the reports are amazing. I'm glad that they finally have football people who saw that these two guys are not the standards where we should be aiming for Chelsea Football Club. Because these guys are extremely inconsistent, man. We can't carry with them.
The reality,
the club is finally standing up, man.
I just want to say that at the end of the day, you want to bring in your guys in early, deal with whatever you want to do, selling wise, such that when pre-season comes along, everyone that needs to be playing, that's probably going to be playing for the next 38 games in the Premier League season is there. And Poch can do whatever he needs to do. Simple as that, man. Because we don't want another situation where we're in the middle of like pre-season and players are coming in like at random points.
Yeah. Plus, we have a whole season. He has a whole season to do whatever he wants. Aim the club. Get the players that you need. Sell the clubs that you don't, and build something. You have one game a week. It's perfect for you to aim for your tactics, man.
Mm-hmm.
Big up,
you need to get to work, bro. He needs to get back to work, man. He needs to start making us proud again, man.
100%. Big up, guys, and big up to everyone in the chat. 60 of you guys watching, but only 18 likes. Let's try to get to at least 30 likes, guys. So be sure, wipe your feet at the door, smash those like buttons, help us out, guys. Appreciate it. We want to get bigger numbers than other content creators that are currently streaming right now, complaining about the owners and all that stuff. But I digress. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Minerals. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and go on to the next topic I want to talk to you guys about, which is our Chelsea legend here, Eden Hazard, and the sad truth of what might be happening is him possibly retiring. So Eden Hazard considered retiring after his contract at Real Madrid ends. This was earlier today, and then as the day went on, we got a lot more news. Official: Eden Hazard leaves Real Madrid. Contract terminated by mutual agreement. Real Madrid CF. What's CF stand for?
It's the club. It's club football.
Ah, damn. Okay, that's just okay. Dyslexia. That didn't click to me. Real Madrid's club football and Eden Hazard have reached an agreement by which the player is disassociated from the club as of June 30th, 2023. Club announces. That's a very harsh way of putting that. That sucks. Eden Hazard will now decide on whether trying new chapters soon or retiring from professional football career. Real Madrid have saved part of his huge salary by terminating his contract 1 year before. It's I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Well, actually, some of you. I don't know about you, Ahmed. I'm looking at you weird. I'm sure some of us are sad to see this happen to a legend. I think you see, I was right about you, Ahmed. I was right about you.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'll let you finish. Bro.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I think
Yeah.
Kai said this a while ago. Like, sometimes the grass just isn't greener on the other side.
Bro, for
And
me,
it's sad to
I
see
would,
it, man.
I wouldn't say that I'm sad for him. I just think like he kind of, okay, it's nice to dream, but you know, kind of sometimes reality hit you. Like at Chelsea, he was worshipped. I don't think it's a mistake for me to say that he was the most loved football. Like Bar Lampard, we can debate. He was loved more than Terry. He was loved more than Drogba. He was loved more than Peter Cech. He was loved more than any of those guys, man. He was worshipped at Chelsea, and he thought, oh, I'm gonna go to Real Madrid at the end of my career, which he shouldn't have done. He should have retired at Chelsea, man. And a lot of people said that he should have stayed at Chelsea. I think even Drogba told him that he should have stayed at Chelsea as well.
Okay,
So,
on a side note, I say,
Scott,
Blade, I'd love this. Like, I watch the MLS all the time. He'd kill the MLS. I'd love this.
Oh yeah, he would.
yeah.
I'd love
I'd
watch
just wanna
MLS
be-
just to see
I
Hazard.
think
Go ahead, Ahmed.
the truth about
I'm not staying up
Hazard,
for Hazard, bro.
yeah, I think the truth about Hazard is quite simple. You know, the injuries just came back. You know, what I mean, the stuff that he was doing at Chelsea, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
we used to not doing the stuff that he had to do in training. It came back to Hojlund in the moment that he wanted to be, you know, the brightest light after being bought by Real Madrid. It's a sad fact, bro. Like he barely plays any minutes now. You know, he's having that constant recurrent injury with his ankle or is it or his legs up around about that area in particular. And you know, listen, I'm not sorry for Hazard because you know it's the stuff that he did to himself that has now come back to haunt him. Yeah, and listen, bro, I love Hazard, innit? You know what I mean? That's my guy, bro. That's my guy, Hazard. Like he's my top 3 Chelsea legends, but you know,
Bro, I
it is
have
what it
more
is.
Hazard shirts than I have Kovacic shirts, man. That's how much I
So-
love Hazard, bro.
Yeah, man. But listen, I hope I listen. I don't want him back at Chelsea, but if he wants to go somewhere else or retire, it's on him, bro.
I'm in two minds about the whole thing.
I would
can't
take him
lie.
at Chelsea for 1 season, bro. Just for this.
I
Oh
wouldn't take
damn it!
him.
I was just
Just for
about
the
to
knee
ask
slide,
that
bro. Just for the
question.
knee slide, bro. Just for
Yo,
the
he'll
knee
break
slide.
his knees. What are we talking about?
Exactly,
man?
yeah. Hey man, I'd rather break him here than break him at the Bernabeu. There we go.
I'm going to be honest.
Jesus Christ.
Depending on what he would want to do in terms of coming back, in terms of game time, and depending on the wages, it would be something I'd entertain.
There we go, yeah.
Oh my days. Okay.
Because
I still think he's better than Pulisic, bro, with 1 knee, bro.
It's not even that. The thing for me is he doesn't have to play a lot, and I'm not expecting him to play a lot. Is the thing because he's not the same Hazard. It's more having someone in the dressing room that would be able to give some of the guys we've got. It's having someone with a bit of experience and giving some of the guys in the dressing room someone who they can look up to, like a little bit. We haven't got many of those at the moment. Is the main thing for me.
Is it? Am I
That would be the
deluded for
main
thinking
thing
though,
I'd
Scott?
have before. Say again.
Am I deluded for thinking that he's actually he got better in the last 3 months, but it was too late for him for Real Madrid?
No, like
I think
he's not the
his
same
fitness
player.
got better.
Yeah, he's not the same player as he was when he came when he was
Sure,
here.
yeah.
And that's what I say. I don't expect him to. If he did come back, I do not expect him to play a lot. I don't want him to play a lot, to be honest. It's more just to be in and around the dressing room to give some of these young attackers like kind of a bit of help going forward. And again, that's why it depends on the wages and kind of depends on what he wants to do. The other option, as I said, for me is either go back to Lille because it's a nice way to finish your career at the same club that you started, I think, or go to the MLS just because it's fun for me because I watch it a lot.
I mean,
Kind of
part
sad,
of me,
man. He's younger than you, Marshall, isn't he? Hazard.
how old is Hazard? I don't know how old Hazard is.
Hazard's like
31,
32,
31?
31,
No, I'm
32.
still younger than
Yeah,
Hazard.
he's
man. Come on.
32. He's 32.
Yeah.
I'm
No, but
still
like
young,
part of me
man.
is real quick before you go, Andrew. Part of me is worried that like if we even entertain this idea of bringing back Hazard, we're just gonna see what's happening to Aspie happening in front of our eyes, and it's just gonna taint the legacy of Hazard. I'd rather not entertain it.
That's why I say I don't want him playing a lot because I agree. If he plays a lot, then yeah, you're going to see the same stuff. But that's why I don't want him playing. But if, as I said, it depends what he wants to do as well.
I think that if he comes back, there'll be a lot of people happy, especially in the catering department.
Ooh.
He'll be unhappy because they have to make more food, bro.
Because and I can say that because I'm a fat bastard as well, so no one does it about me. Okay? Yeah, I can do that. Listen. I don't think we should bring him back. I want Poch to have no real distractions. I just want him to focus on getting us back, challenging. And I think, as great as Eden Hazard was, I just think it would be an emotional distraction that I don't want. You know what I mean?
remember when Drogba came back? Do you remember when Drogba came back?
No,
Andrew?
but that
wasn't that
the
bad.
thing about Drogba was he wasn't coming back from like 3 years of like not playing or something like that.
He played in Galatasaray, right? When he came back?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Still
the point. He was playing at a level that,
yeah. And he knew, and I'm not saying Hazard's not a humble guy. I think he would be a humble guy, but I just think he's coming back from like 3 years of basically not playing. Essentially, he's played like single-digit games every season. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think maybe for no, because then I give into sentiment. I don't like sentiment, and it's like,
Jesus, you can open your heart a little bit, Andrew. Come on, man.
I do get the point. I think it depends on what.
If I do that, Kai, I show weakness. So it's just gonna
turn into me for fuck's sake, bro.
I know
also
that's
depends on
the toxic masculinity. Smash the likes for toxic masculinity.
No, but I just think it's like I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it on the basis of an actual logical one in terms of like.
What if he kissed the badge, Andrew?
No.
Push it as like a manager or something.
I saw Lukaku kissed the badge. You want Lukaku back?
Yeah, but Lukaku's a hoe, bro. It's different, man.
Exactly.
Oh my
Hazard's always been married, bro. He's a loyal man, bro.
I just think. I think what Scott said was right. Maybe go back to Lille, go to MLS or something like that. Just or Saudi Arabia, something like that. Maybe go there.
Saudi, please, man.
I think at the end of the day, when I look at Hazard, like he's the antithesis of a Poch player. Like you all know the quote, like Poch is like, you get paid to train. He doesn't train, and you can't have that. You know, Scott, you talked about someone to set an example to some of our young attackers. That's not the example they need. Like, and especially when he can't back it up on the pitch. So for me, this is a no-go. You know, I wish him well wherever he goes, but Chelsea's got to be a no-go for me personally.
That's right. Also, when I said that, I don't mean from training because he won't help with training. I mean from the
exactly.
Yeah. Like all of the reports that are coming out from the Madrid camp, like or from the Madrid papers about him in the dressing room, is nothing but positivity by it.
Oh no,
like,
I understand that. Yeah.
Like from all accounts, seems to have been extremely humble. He seems to have been extremely just helpful towards the young players and to being a positive influence on the group or the locker room. So that's all I see him as to being towards and for Chelsea. But as I said, if it is something that kind of Poch isn't really after or it doesn't really work, then that's fair enough. Just there's no real point at that point bringing him back.
Got it. Okay. I think that's the consensus. There is no point in bringing him back. I know a lot of people on Twitter are very sentiment about bringing him back and all that, but I stay to the point of view that if we bring him back, we're just going to see Aspie all over again, but on the left wing this time, and I just don't want to see that. I just don't want to see it. I know it's Hazard, but I've already seen Aspie deteriorate so quickly. This man's also falling apart at Real Madrid. I'm okay.
But can I ask you guys a question? What's the difference between having Hazard on our books and having Pulisic on our books?
He's going to go though.
Yeah, but wouldn't you mind having Hazard here more and having Pulisic? I don't know, man. Like I said, man, I love Hazard too much, man.
I would say the better comparison is Hazard or Sterling.
No, but Sterling actually plays. Pulisic just sits
that's
there.
the point.
Right box, he's an author, man.
So if Hazard came back, he'd be fourth choice winger, which we're trying to get rid of the other wingers. So at that point, he'd be behind Pulisic or whoever. So
just to let everyone know, someone just to break back to Ugarte.
Yes.
So I'm just on this. I just confirmed it is a message on this guy's
thanks, Vic,
Twitter thing. So what it says is what he didn't put in. He didn't put in this. So he put in Sporting want Paris to match Chelsea's terms in order to complete the deal. Paris already has an agreement with Ugarte contract until June 2028. What Vic didn't put in above that was agreement reached between Chelsea and Sporting for Ugarte, 60 million euros plus solidarity mechanism. I love the language used in transfers.
What does mean solidarity mechanism?
I don't know.
Solidarity mechanism.
Like a friend group for him there.
I have no idea what this language used in the.
Yeah,
it's amazing, but I just wanted to make sure because I was like, what's going on? But
gotcha. Yeah, for those of you just tuning in, we did discuss the Ugarte situation. It looks like it's done. We haven't gotten to here we go. The record Portugal. Record Portugal has called the Enzo report earlier this season, as well as the Bruno Fernandes, which Kai mentioned. So it looks like this is done, but we will see. We will get the here we go if it does get done from Fabrizio.
Somebody called him the Uruguayan McTominay, bro.
So basically,
God.
So from what I'm reading from what's it called, the Santi guy, he's saying that Chelsea Sport already have a deal sort of set already. PSG have to match that in order to get Ugarte, but the thing is, like from what we've seen from the Portuguese guys and everything, they're saying Ugarte has chosen Chelsea over PSG.
But
I don't trust a man named Santi, bro.
The thing is, they're not going to match it, PSG, if we've offered lower wages.
Yeah, that's what threw me off too. I was like, wait a minute, what? I'll be right back, boys.
I have no idea what the bonuses are. It's obviously 3.5 bonuses. I don't know what they are. So they offered straight up 5 million in. I think that's just, is that near 100 grand or something like that? Something like that.
Yeah.
But they offered straight up 5 million per year. We offered apparently 3.5 with whatever the bonuses are. But if he's chosen that with the low wages and the bonuses, because I've no doubt PSG would have offered some type of bonuses as well, like something like that. But yeah, go on. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say I did the conversion like earlier in the week with that 5 million euros. It works out weekly to about what Mount is on, so that 80 to 90k kind of range.
Yeah. So yes, and Nkuku's done. Nkuku is done for anyone.
It's been done since last year, bro.
It's going to be announced in July or sorry. So it's going to be announced probably June this time this month, but not officially. Won't be until July. Something. That's how it works.
Bro, the CEO confirmed it already. Like I think it was in January or February.
And Nkuku is done, guys. And Nkuku and Gusto will be obviously the first two.
I have a question, Andrew. Is he gonna change the balloon from red to blue though now?
That's true. No, that's true. You should do that. We don't have red here at Chelsea.
I can't wait for the celebration.
Are we allowed to have balloons on the pitch? You get yellow carded.
Remember our home kit had
fucking
that
Premier League
stupid red. Remember that home kit had that stupid red thing on the colour that cost us that. Terrible. We don't have red here at Chelsea, bro. No chance.
Also,
It's a very girly colour anyway. I hate red.
The Ugarte thing is like Paris don't have to match anything. If they just pay the release clause, like then Sporting can't do anything.
Yep.
Right? They just pay the release clause outright, which is less
than paying an instalment structure though.
That's my point. It's like worst comes to worst. If they really want him, they just pay the release clause. And
well, this Santi guy, is he reliable? I don't know if he's that reliable.
I don't know.
I've seen him tweet about a lot, but I don't know how. Yeah.
Santi J is usually reliable, but like you get some stuff wrong.
But the thing about that is not actually Santi. Viku posted him before, and thank you for your message. He didn't post the entire thing. Santi included Chelsea have reached an agreement with Sporting for 60 million euros, plus that fascinating language. Solidarity mechanism.
That may just mean in the future for any other transfers for certain.
I know,
things.
it's just the language used.
I know, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Would you guys be sad if we miss out on him? If you miss Emmanuel, bro?
Say again.
Would you guys be sad if we miss out on him?
Yes, I would.
My thing is this: if we miss out on any player, it's like, okay, so who's our next target? Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I think if we've got, I'd be pretty. I don't know if I'd be that sad because, like I said, my sample size of him is not that big, so I have no you know what I mean. Whereas, like, if we were in for Caicedo, and because I'm a little Englander and I only really watch the English game and stuff like that, and we were so far into him, and then someone takes him, I'd be slightly more pissed because I've seen him play more.
I will say, if we were to miss out on Ugarte, like the likelihood of us getting Caicedo would go from about 85% to 100%. He would be in by.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind.
I said before, guys, if you haven't been listening to Fabrizio and other news people, it's not Ugarte or Caicedo. It's not or. It's Ugarte first, then Caicedo. That's what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? So if anyone's thinking, oh no, that means we're not going to go in for Caicedo, bro, we're going to go in Caicedo because we're probably going to give him COLWILL for another season on loan.
That's stupid.
We replaced most of our team, man. Anyway, we replaced most of our midfield. We sold most of our midfield.
It's only for another season.
So we do need to replace them.
Or we'll just pay out whatever. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's what's going to happen. But I wouldn't be.
Bro, it would be stupid.
If you think about it, Arsenal are really going to be in for Rice, and I think that's going to take them a while to get over the line.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had the news, but apparently, according to J. Felix Diaz, Bayern on the verge of getting Declan Rice apparently now.
No, that was another strange language when they used that one. Declan Declan Rice is, I can't remember how it abbreviated. Declan Rice is hard for Bayern Munich or something like that. That's what they
Hey,
said.
yeah.
That's what they said.
Wow.
That's what they said.
Yo.
That's what they said. They used the language.
The cheap
He's
beer and the
hard for this
sausages, bro.
Hey,
He's
I
hard.
tell you what, do you know what that is?
Heavy
Andrew? Do you know what that is? That's 100% that they put that in German and they Google translated that. That's 100% Google Translate. Doing that once. But it's back when you're in school and you had to Google Translate something and it doesn't quite make grammatical sense when you like translate it back.
Declan Rice is walking about the West Ham training ground hard.
Bro, but when do you guys predict we're gonna finish all our signings, like our business? I think we will finish it by
Bro,
July 1st,
at this rate, yeah. I was gonna say by July 1st, I think all of it's gonna be done. We're gonna be way ahead of the game.
which is what we did 14-15 when we won the league. We were so prepared that season, man. Finished everything in seconds. We were already in pre-season.
You know what I'll say?
Yeah.
I think our main signings, by which I mean the at least one midfielder, goalkeeper, and striker, will all be done before pre-season.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would be
think
good, yeah.
I don't think we're going to finish business till the window closes because that's the thing with these owners. I think not even that. I think depending on what happens at the start of the window, like because or the start of the season, say the season comes around and some people just don't look up to speed or like get injured, then I think we'll go back in for someone else. So like I'm going to say the main signings were 100% done before pre-season, but I don't think we're going to be done till the window closes because I think these owners and the guys brought in are switched on enough to not be in a mindset of we signed everyone, even it like they will be understanding that things can happen.
I think Kuku will be announced tomorrow, actually.
Probably.
The final already finished. That's the last game they needed him for.
We will
so
definitely be discussing that when that happens, 100%. But on the topic of transfers and potential transfers, I did want to bring this guy up and see if you guys knew anything about this fella. I genuinely don't. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. So let's go ahead and talk about Hojlund. Thank you for saying before I had to try to say it. So let's talk about Hojlund. Chelsea have sent scouts to follow Rasmus Hojlund recently, so Chelsea know the player very well. The same is with Manchester United. Atalanta wants to keep the player, but Hojlund is prepared to leave if an important offer arrives, coming from Fabrizio Romano. What do we know about Hojlund, boys?
Rasmus Hojlund plays for Atlanta currently. He's got 8 goals, 2 assists. 8 goals and 2 assists in the league so far. He's a very good dribbler. He's able to create a lot of space inside the box for himself and his teammates.
No.
Is he? He's not Belgian, is he? No.
That sounds like a Mudrik decision. I don't want him, bro.
And the thing with him is that
Danish,
right now he's very raw. He's very raw in my opinion. He still needs like a season or 2 more of development.
How old is this kid?
He sounds like
he's only 20
sounds like
years
a
old.
Mudrik, bro. He sounds like a Mudrik to me.
So for me, if you were to bring in Rasmus Hojlund, he would have to be like not the main striker, be a second guy. Bring him on loan, and we return to Atlanta to let him develop. In my opinion, but that's just me.
Oh yeah, mate,
I've never seen him play. Not even seen highlights. I know he's meant to be rated very highly from his time in Austria. I think was where he was playing beforehand, or potentially even back when he was in Denmark. But I've never seen him play.
I don't want him.
Chris,
If we're gonna buy wingers, bro, give me a wingers from South America, bro. No more blonde wingers, bro.
Striker.
Even worse, bro. Striker who dribbles. No, thank you, bro. Sell.
Bro, he's really good. I watch Atalanta in Serie A. He's really good, bro.
Nope.
He's really good.
But he's just he's still a raw talent. He still needs like time to still develop.
Doesn't score a lot of goals. Because if he doesn't score a lot of goals, I don't want him.
8 goals, bro. That is some Hazard numbers. You're giving me Havertz numbers, bro. That's a trap, man.
But that's why I said, Kai, that he needs another season in Serie A, like another season to develop. If we were to buy him, for me, it would be a buy and then you send them up.
I'm just gonna point something out. Like the level he played at is higher than Mudrik, but in terms of actual game time. This is from Wikipedia, so this may be wrong. He's only played 4 more league games than Mudrik has in his career.
That's a clear no. Also, I made the conclusion that from now on, all my wingers and my strikers will come from South America, bro.
Bro, you just want a full South American team, don't you?
Hey, Scott, those are the people who have the fight and they know how to play football pretty well. They're good dribblers and they're good composers because they've been practicing scoring goals on the streets, bro. Between 2 bottles, bro. That's the type of players I want, man. I don't want no Europeans who had access.
Rocks, man.
Bro, I don't want no Europeans who had access to goals and they train once a week and they keep up their diet. Nah, man. I want somebody on a steak and beans diet, bro, who practice every day. That's what I want, man. People who struggle. And then they make the best Like, imagine if we had prime Alexis Sanchez in this team right now, bro. That would be amazing.
Oh, that would be. But
Well, I mean, on the topic of South
give me
American
Modric,
players, let's go ahead and discuss our boy here, Andre Santos, who apparently is ready to be a part of the preseason squad. So Andre Santos looks like he's set to get his UK visa and is expected to be at Chelsea for preseason. Can't wait to see Santos in blue. Hey, I'm gonna hopefully I get to see him in the US when he does the tour. But are you guys excited to see Santos play, or how are we feeling? He's not fit. No. You're thinking about Kendry Paez. He's
I
like
think he's gonna
the
be-
16-year-old.
I think he's gonna be a
Ecuadorian.
bench option. A bench option.
I
If they're-
think-
You think he's actually gonna be the first squad?
I think he'll be a bench
Essentially,
option.
like, depending on what Pochettino, like the owners are high, like, and the scouts are high on this guy. Like, this is probably the
Yeah.
guy they have the highest ceiling for in their minds at the moment.
South American as well, man. There we go, man.
Yeah, there you go. Brazilian. It's where all the best ones come from. I mean, almost quite literally, to be honest.
Argentinians and Uruguayans, but okay, man.
wait, do we have any
No, but
Brazilians?
overall, I think. Wait, hold on
Oh,
one
we have
second.
to argue.
Overall, don't you think Brazil overall produces the most talent from South America, and then maybe Argentina?
I don't know. I don't know. Argentina produce a lot of elite attackers, man, and midfielders. You name guys like Di Maria, Aguero. Then you have
The
Uruguay,
attackers was
Suarez. Man.
amazing.
When
To
is
be
the
fair,
last time? When is the last time Brazil had an amazing striker, bro?
To be fair though, like
Go on.
South America in general, the level of talent they just
Yeah,
produce in general is unreal.
Especially attackers, yeah. Strikers, they're
In
always
general,
the best
bro.
attackers in Europe have all been strikers.
You say just attackers, like there's defenders like as well that like defenders, midfielders as well. The guys they produce is just an unreal level in South America. It does, like, this is a slight tangent, but it does just baffle me that more clubs, especially in the Premier League, don't take advantage of that market. Well, there's so few clubs that do on a regular basis, or they'll get the South Americans after they've already gone to Europe and already played in Europe. They won't go to South.
But I think it's because the UK has a very strict give visa eligibility to South Americans. That's what it is, man.
By the way,
In Italy, it's much easier to get South American players. You know why? Because most Brazilians have Italian heritage, so they're eligible to get either Portuguese or Italian passports. Yeah, or Italian or Portuguese. Yeah.
No, Italy's difficult in general, but that's because the league rules. You're only allowed 2 non-EU players in your team, or to sign 2 non-EU.
But a lot of Brazilians they qualify for Italian citizenship because they have Italian roots. It's a very common thing in Europe, in EU. Yeah. If you have some type of European heritage, you can apply for. That's how Jorginho also got his.
Santos is an 8,
because he had Italian passport.
I think right now in Brazil he's playing as a DM.
DM? I swear he scores a lot.
I'll have a look.
But
seems
I
like
know
an eight.
when I did see him play for Brazil, he was playing as a DM. But I know that he flourishes more as an 8.
He's got to be bench option, and I think because if we're bringing
Well, I was actually going to ask you guys, do you guys think that it might be between him and CAICEDO for a spot in the squad this season?
in a squad.
I mean, it depends which position we play. If we play 4-3-3,
Oh, yeah,
then I
he's
think
definitely
we need a lot of midfielders, man, because that's like three
I can't lie.
three
I think-
midfielders gonna rotate.
Depending on what they do, right, with the midfielders. Say we get in, what's it called? Ugarte and
Ugarte, yeah.
There's a chance you could keep both. Depending on what Poch wants to do, there's a potential he could keep both. And loan
Kant
out.
is leaving. Kant is leaving. Gallagher is leaving. Don't forget.
Kovacic.
Kova's leaving.
Mason
Based
now.
on the fact of how the under 20 World Championships, whatever it is, that's going on at the
World
moment.
Cup.
That's it. Like, considering how that's going, considering how he played last season at Reading, like, despite the fact they got relegated, he was arguably their best player. He was certainly one of the most talented, according to Reading fans. There's a chance he could stay. Like, there's a real chance he could stay.
No, CAICEDO seems to be doing really well. I mean, I'm going off the opinions of my cousin who's watching it. He's actually Italian. Like, he is waxing lyrical about this CAICEDO. Like, I think from what I'm hearing, he is, like Scott said, with the Reading thing, but also just the way he's playing in general. He could be a real one. So just find a good loan for him next season, if not include him in the squad.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of take like the youth level on a pinch of salt compared to, high-end football.
No, and I agree with that. Like, I don't. It doesn't necessarily always translate. You are playing with people, like amongst your age. Whereas, like at the at the highest level, it's all mixed bags of ages. You got the best 20-year-olds stepping up to like a 36-year-old or whatever old defender. You know what I mean? Like, there's all different levels to the game. So like when you're playing the U20 or U21s, like everyone's the same age relatively. So you can stand out in that instance. But when you're playing with amongst a variety of adults and like mid 20s, like kids in their prime and all that, it's just a different ball game. Which, by the way, before we go to Andrew, 115 of you guys are watching.
Come on,
let's get 50 likes, man. Let's try to get to 50 likes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be talking about all sorts of topics, so stick around. But thank you so much. Do smash that like button and consider becoming a membership. Andrew, on to you.
I don't listen. I'm sorry. I don't like to be one of these people, but I do. But I just want to say that I don't really like to judge players off a youth tournament. I just good or bad. It's the same with comps. I just don't know, in terms of, unless you've watched a player for a very long time. Santos has stood out. He scored a lot, I think, in the last youth tournament or something like that. Casually stood off. We don't have a lot of games coming up this season, and we've probably got a smaller squad. So I don't think both of them are going to stay in the squad. If I'm being honest with you, I think one of them will definitely be loaned out. There's no details coming out about us offering any players to Sporting for this transfer of Ugarte. There's no details. So I know that was rumoured earlier in the week, but it depends who Poch wants to keep, because we have to mention as well, we've got Chukwuemeka as well. So there's three young players there. What do you do with them essentially? So I don't know who he wants to play, who he sees better in a role. Do you know what I mean? Does he go, if we're selling Kai Havertz, does he then say, I can see Chukwuemeka being a backup 10 or something like that? Okay, so he stays there. Does that mean then, okay, so I've got Enzo there. I've got Ugarte, looks like it's happening. If I bring CAICEDO in, have I got another one who can sit there, or maybe an Andre Santos or a CAICEDO sits there? So it might work out something like that, where two of them stay because they're in need of positions, and one of them goes out, or one of them stays and two go out. So, but they look good. They all look good. I've not seen anything bad from them yet, but they're still very young. And I don't know. I know Poch has got the reputation of handling young players, but we've already got a young squad as it is. You know what I mean? We're talking about Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez is only 22. Ugarte is 21. CAICEDO, if we get him, is 21. So it's like, how young do you want this squad? Do you know what I mean? Because then we're going into like an Arsenal territory under Wenger sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
Gotta be careful.
They look impressive. I gotta say, from what I've seen in the tour, I do think Andre Santos offers a unique of sitting in a pivot and attacking wise. He looks more physical, stuff like that. So, but I don't know. Whatever they all look pretty good. So, whatever he decides to do, that I'm sure it'll be fine.
So I think with the age thing, I think we've had to pivot plans because we obviously wanted to extend Kante's contract, but with his latest injury, that's proved to kind of deter us by the looks of things. So I don't know how the club are going to pivot, whether they are or not. I don't know, but I think that's important to note. The original plan was to keep Kante, have him as that experience.
I understand, but I think the plans have changed with Kante. I think they were
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They're gonna let him go, man.
I think they've gone. We'll wait till he comes back to see how he does. And there was rumours when he played his first couple of games about, the contract's on its way. Nothing.
Yeah,
he got injured and nothing. He's done.
Is he worth 300 a week?
We got no experience in the midfield. We're letting go of Kante obviously because of injuries. Why don't we? Why don't we try signing Kovacic to like a new deal? He's like 28, 29.
No, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He wanted to leave since January.
But
what is it with you and having players that don't want to be here? You act like we're a prison, man. Like Jesus Christ.
I'm not even seeing Chelsea like offer a contract. I don't think
because he made it clear to them he doesn't want him. He made it clear to them before. Even there's a Liam Toomey who said in January before after the World Cup and before the World Cup that Kova wanted to leave was exploring his options. Then City spoke to him, and he said he wants to go to City.
Yeah, I would. I don't know
City
what this.
fumbled the bag, man.
I don't know what this is about. No, we didn't.
He will give us 40
fumble
million.
the bag
Man.
would be offering the contract, not offering the right terms, and him leaving because of that. That would be fumbling the bag.
Yeah.
We didn't. We actually haven't done it. The bag is still nicely placed on a hook. We haven't offered him whatsoever. So.
40 million is
Well,
a good price for him as well.
Actually,
What
real
is
quick.
No,
Real
but
quick,
we should-
before
we
we
need-
go
we
off on this
need- we
tangent,
need- we need
hey guys,
experienced midfielder.
guys, I'm gonna transition this, okay? Because you guys are on the money today. Speaking of the bag, let's talk about the bag. Kovacic agrees personal terms with Man City, so let's discuss Kovacic. All right, this here, I got some tweets for you guys. Chris, don't get upset. We got some tweets here, okay? Kovacic. I rephrase. I retract my statement. Kai, don't be upset. We're talking about Kovacic. Kovacic is massively respected. Kovacic is massively respected at Chelsea, but the idea of the club and the player is to part ways and try something new. That's coming from Fabrizio Romano. We got another tweet from David Ornstein. Chelsea have granted Man City permission to speak to Mateo Kovacic. Others, such as FC Bayern, keen, but 29-year-old wants Manchester City. Dialogue between clubs, City have made interest known to Chelsea, but fee yet discussed. This is coming from The Athletic and Fabrizio. One second, Kai. 1 second. Exclusive from Fabrizio. Man City have opened concrete talks to sign Mateo Kovacic in the summer. Positive discussions took place with players' camp in the last few days over personal terms. Chelsea open to selling Kovacic as part of the midfield revolution. Talks will continue soon. Next tweet I have here is also from Fabrizio. I've been told that agreement on personal term between Mateo Kovacic and Man City really close, almost complete. And then the last tweet I have here, and then the mic is all yours, Kovacic. Kai Kovacic, basically the same player. Kajovic. Chelsea would like a fee in the region of £35 million for the sale of Mateo Kovacic to Manchester City. Talk to me, Kai. What are we saying, bro?
I'm going to say this. Goodbye, beautiful prince. I love you. I enjoy the dribbles, and I just want to say to the Mount debaters, must suck that Kovacic has so much better options and suitors than Mount does, huh? Has Bayern behind him, he has City behind him, while Mount has fucking United, who's the last time they won a title was before fucking iPhone was invented. And then you have Liverpool, who have as many Premier Leagues as Leicester, and then you have Arsenal, who haven't been played Champions League for 7 years. Actually, I don't even know if Arsenal are interested in him because I haven't seen any bits. I was in his words. So you know what? It's the right time for him. I don't think he should be a part of a new Chelsea rebuild because he's like at the age where he needs to look for his own career and his own future. And I think it's the right opportunity for him, man. So that's. I'm happy for him, man. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna have a lot of his shirt as souvenirs. I have 3 of them. So
you sound
all the best,
bro.
bro.
You sound depressed,
but you see the difference between me and Johnny. Yeah, I know. I like the player.
Brain cells.
I know for the sake of my club future, it's more important than one player, right? That just common logic. Yeah. You know this guy in the comments like, actually, Kai, iPhone was invented 2007. All right, so before iPhone 4 was fucking invented. There you go, bro.
I just think we have to bring in an experienced midfielder though. Our Enzo's like what 22 as
Look
well.
Look at that beard, man. Glorious beard.
I feel
man.
like we need like a 25, 26-year-old as well, like in that midfield or somewhere, or even in attack, because we have no real experience in attack. Well, except for Sterling, of course.
You mean like Nkunku is 25?
Is he 25?
Yeah.
I thought he's like 22.
No,
I haven't heard of him like last 2 seasons or whatever because he's been like absolutely.
He's 25. He's 25.
Oh, okay, then, fair enough. But I don't know, like maybe experienced midfielder. I could be wrong though. Of course, like a bunch of young midfielders could kill it, but I felt like, like having no experience in those midfielders, be like prone to mistakes or not good enough or whatever. Like a experienced midfielder like Kovacic is obviously we know what we get from him when he's obviously in good form and everything. Like so.
Yeah, but
I'm a little bit concerned by it.
I'm concerned too, but the way that Scott talked about this guy, he seems good. He seems a good DM for us. Plus, I don't know, man. Kova just doesn't want to be here, and he hasn't been want to be here since the World Cup days. And I do understand where he's coming from. Chelsea is a very uncertain place right now.
You know how many times
I just wish Mount didn't do the same, do as much PR as Kovacic, bro. Just fucking let's go and move on if he doesn't want to be here.
Just quick question, Kai. Do you know how many games Kovacic has started this season, like in the starting 11 this season in the Premier League?
Like 20?
No.
Oh wait,
17 out of
Oh
38.
my word.
that's
He's
not
in the
bad, man.
front. That is terrible.
That's awful.
Hey,
Well,
watch him
he's
at
been
City
getting
start a
injured.
lot more games.
But
man.
when you've had Kante out, Kante's only played what seven?
Kai-
It's like a
seven?
little less than half the season.
Kai, I wish you'd been on Lewis's stream today. That would have been a fun conversation to have. Oh, we talked about.
What happened? What happened?
Like,
Hey, all I'm saying is, someone went after Kovacic for literally no reason. Like literally no reason.
I know who it is. Jester, probably Jester. He doesn't.
Nope.
He doesn't score goals.
Nope.
Who?
Much louder.
Louder.
Jimmy.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Oh,
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy doesn't like.
Just went off.
Doesn't like.
No reason,
I
bro.
don't know. No offense to you, Marshall. I don't know why Americans can't understand that midfielder's job is not to score goals. It's to win midfield
I
battles, bro.
understand.
I said you, other than you,
Hey,
man.
you're South
They,
American, you know.
they think it's just two. Football is three phases, bro. Football is three fucking phases, not two. It's never been two. I don't understand why it's so difficult for these people to understand, bro. It's the defense, the midfield, and the attack, man.
You know what sucks though?
annoying
You
me,
know
man.
what sucks? Before you go, Oliver, you know what does suck
Yeah.
about this too? Because based on what you guys are talking to me about right now, and based on what you're saying right now on this panel, I guarantee you, and it's already happening with the propaganda. It's already happening. And if you know what I'm saying about propaganda, you know who I'm talking about. Enzo and Ugarte are gonna fall under the same exact boat. People are gonna criticize them for the same exact fucking thing. Not enough goals, not enough assists.
Yeah, especially, but that's not the rules. That's never been the rules. Like these people would hate Xavi and Iniesta, bro. They would hate the shit out of them, man.
The only
Like-
reason I was gonna say the only reason they won't like criticize him if like the attackers are doing well, they're like Nkuku getting the goals, Sterling getting the goals, and who else like Mudryk or Madueke, if they're all getting the goals and everything, then you're not gonna look at the midfield. The only reason we're looking at the
Yeah.
midfield because our
'Cause our
attackers are
attackers are
doing shit.
Like look at
Exactly.
MSN, man. Look at MSN. Back when MSN were a thing, man. How many people here spoke about the midfield not having enough goals, man? No, because you have
no
three
one's talking
fucking
about
free
Busquets not having
scoring
enough
every
assists.
goal, man.
Yeah,
Look at the
That's
Liverpool.
stupid.
Look at Liverpool midfield under Klopp.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
no one talked about that. It's all about.
It's weird, bro.
EMP, so-
If these people like lived back in Iniesta and Javi's days, bro, we'd be fucked, man. They'd be like, these guys don't score enough goals.
If they looked at Xavi's stats, especially, they'd be going, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, is that what he does?"
Even a Modric as well. Modric doesn't have great stats.
Yeah,
That's true.
thank you.
Yeah, he don't. He never scores past 10 or normally over 10.
But you know what? I can guarantee you guys. I can guarantee you guys one thing. Kovacic ain't scoring any goals that Gundogan's gonna be scoring goals.
I mean, he did score a similar goal to today.
I was
He did score a similar goal today, bro.
Obviously, he does score
I'm just
he does
saying,
score
you know,
streamers, man.
guys.
He does score streamers.
Hey man,
Cool.
listen, man.
But that's the thing with Cole. He only scores screamers, bro. Very rarely, but he still scores screamers, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I mean, there are the midfield, the midfielder that scores goals is very far and few in between. I would say that like, and even like, I don't even know if you consider KDB a midfielder as much as he is like a 10, but I would say like goal scorers like.
I mean, a midfielder.
10 is a midfielder.
He is an attacking midfielder, which is
Yeah.
Well, when I think midfield, I think like.
8.
the deep
Okay,
midfield,
fine,
yeah, like
fine,
eight,
fine,
like
fine,
eight,
yeah.
eight, eight.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking more 8, but like, yeah, I'll include it. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's very hard to find like, you know, the midfielders like De Bruyne, midfielders like Gundogan, who, despite not being anywhere near the numbers that De Bruyne has, Gundogan is still able to score goals in advanced positions. He's really good at it. Listen, I'm not going to take away the fact that people seem to overlook this a lot. Like, it's one thing to look at stats on paper, and it's one thing to actually watch the matches. It's coming around to you, Kai. But like, I say this about Jorginho. I say this about Kovacic. I say this about Reece James. And you know what, Ahmed, you're not gonna like me for this. I say this about Ziyech as well. The amount, oh fuck me, okay. The amount of times that these players have been robbed of assists is absurd. And if we had the clinical strikers and the clinical wingers, then we wouldn't be talking about Kovacic's assist numbers. We wouldn't be talking about Jorginho's assist numbers. They would be up there. This guy has set them up on a silver platter so many times, and people seem to really forget it because everyone has short-term memories.
Ziyech spawned like a pimple, bro. God damn.
I know. As soon as Ziyech, he shows up.
Well, Marshall's not gonna like what I'm. Marshall's not gonna like what I'm.
Oh,
Neither did your Wi-Fi, bro. Neither did your Wi-Fi.
cut you off at the perfect time.
Marshall's not gonna like what I'm gonna say and stopped.
Oh, my bad. All I was just gonna say, listen, man. Marshall was talking about Ziyech getting from 0 assists to like what 2 assists. What is that a game changer, Marshall? Is that
No, it would have been a lot more than that.
Is that a
If we
game
had
changer?
clinical striking, thank you. If we had clinical striking, we would have been talking 15 plus. Actually, if we had clinical striking, we would be talking about a whole different season entirely.
I do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ziyech can put in a good ball, but yeah, like we just have no good strikers,
No,
so we should
this is
not
not.
fit it.
This is not true, man.
Listen, when
Oh, you're saying he
Werner and
doesn't have a good
Ziyech,
ball?
when Werner and Ziyech came in, I was thinking of the that's the dynamic duo, just a cross from the outside, Werner coming in behind the defender, just zooming in just to get the tap in and shit, and it just never happened. It just never happened.
That's your fault that you thought that's gonna happen, though.
Oh yeah, that is my
That's very
fault. I expected
theoretical.
higher from Werner. I expected Werner to be a striker when he
Hey,
came.
Werner
from
got the
Liverpool.
best out of
He
Ziyech
did.
actually, though.
Shut up.
He did. He did.
The thing is why I don't think Ziyech can work in the Premier League. I just don't think he's fast enough to be a winger, bro. I think he's very slow for a winger. Man.
Not every
He
winger has to
relies
be
on
fast.
fast people around him.
Not every winger has to be fast.
What else do you want to talk about, Marshall? I'm not doing Ziyech pop on this channel. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good
this is part of the show, and since we are on the topic, I might as well bring it up as soon as I
we're
make the
talking about
man.
outgoings now, yeah. Talking about outgoings now.
Yes, we are.
Yes, yes, we are. So
Who's leaving?
let's
Who's
bring
leaving?
it up. You're our boy that we were just talking about. So let me pull up this tweet, get it all ready with my slow ass computer.
That would be a good day, bro. The
Listen,
day,
Sammy, bro.
Yeah, there we
Listen,
go.
the
Sammy,
day this
big man,
potato-shaped head leaves, I'll be happy, bro.
I just want to say
So-
something, Sammy. Get your mouth out of Ziyech's thing. Relaxing, man.
How about
This isn't a Disney Channel, man. You can say the fucking words, okay?
How about you calling your agendas Ahmed? How about that one? Don't disrespect Sammy.
Fuck him,
Ziyech is
Ziyech.
what?
As-
Ziyech is
So-
what?
Guys, let him read it.
You know what? I can't believe. You know what? I can't believe we're having an argument.
4 hours.
Listen,
I just
a
can't
quick
believe.
section.
I just can't believe we're having an argument between a Ziyech stand and a Gallagher stand, man. This is
Real quick. Hakim Ziyech has 2 years left on his Chelsea contract and could leave on loan this summer if no offers come in for a
He
permanent
ain't going
transfer.
nowhere, bro. He ain't going
I don't
nowhere.
think he's going on loan. I think he's
Like
going on a
herpes,
permanent
bro.
transfer.
You can't get rid of him, bro. No matter how much you shrug, man.
And then I have a second tweet here about Ziyech. Borussia Dortmund have Hakim Ziyech on their transfer short list. Could make an attempt to sign him. I don't know how true or how legitimate this
I
is,
don't
but
believe that, bro.
we'll see.
No,
We'll see.
who is
Why
that?
don't you believe him, man? Ziyech is a good player.
Nobody,
Not
who's
good for
taking
Chelsea.
Ziyech, bro? Who's taking Ziyech, bro?
Kai, I showed you the receipts. Many top clubs want him.
Bro,
Don't want to believe it.
bro,
Don't wanna
Ziyech,
believe
if Ziyech was working in a corporate environment, he would be straight to their email list. We moved in with another candidate, bro. He's that type of guy, bro. Not even an interview. We wouldn't even get an interview, bro.
Plus, those
That's Ziyech, bro.
those receipts you've got are written in crayon.
No. Stop. They would also tweet. They would
Wrote him
also
himself.
tweet. I'll show you. Fuck you, Bobby. How about that one? How about you, that Bobby?
Oh, Bobby. Yeah.
How about that, Bobby? How about that one, mate?
Bro, look
Who
at him.
are
Listen.
you? But the big question is, who are you gonna
He has,
stand when
he
Ziyech
has
leaves?
wooden spoon
Can't
for
believe
arms, bro.
out
Look
of
at
all
what
of
he's
us
gonna
in the
do,
panel,
man.
only me and Scott want Ziyech to stay. I can't believe it.
no.
Only-
I don't think Scott ever said he wanted him to stay.
Oh,
Scott doesn't give me that, bro.
Scott disassociated so quick.
He thought Scott was a beaut.
Yo,
Okay?
Scott,
He's like dragging you.
Yo, Scott, come on, man. Can't leave man
Nah,
on the guys, man.
Trying to steal a
Nah,
reference.
G, that ain't me.
What do you mean, nah, G? What are you talking about?
I think Scott would have actually preferred you accusing him of stealing from your mum than actually as Ziyech stand. So, you know,
Yeah, seriously.
What the fuck?
you know what I mean?
Oh,
Why would
my
anybody
goodness.
stand Ziyech, bro? What is there? It's like just slow
Yeah.
guy.
So here's the thing. Ziyech is a good player, just not a good player for Chelsea.
That's
Yeah,
cap.
He's a decent player. I don't know if I would say good player. He
That's
is a
not cap. He's just not a good player for Chelsea. He doesn't fit into Chelsea.
He's the Moroccan Mason Mount, bro. I don't want him, man. Here.
You,
bro.
listen,
He's not
I
gonna
feel
lie,
like
man.
these clubs aren't stupid, right? These clubs have It just hit me what he said.
Missing out,
Like a
bro.
mineral's
Missing
mouth.
out, bro.
I like that.
No, that's
just-
missing out, bro. Take him away from me, man. I don't
So
want to be a part of it.
these clubs aren't stupid, right? They see his performances for Morocco, and they're convinced that this guy is a good player.
So why
It just
nobody bids?
doesn't work out for Chelsea.
No, why nobody bids, bro? If he's such a good player, why
He
nobody
was
bids?
supposed to go to PSG, Kai.
On
No,
loan, bro.
listen,
Nobody- it's
Listen,
useless,
I'm
bro.
not claiming to be no ITK or something. But
Yes, you are, but okay. Move on. Move on.
Let me
Okay.
tell you something. Whoever spat out laughing there needs a slap. But let me
Amazing.
Fucking
the reason why
Couscous missing out, bro.
Ziyech leaving is quiet is because they are offering him a new goddamn contract.
Bro,
What?
nobody wants him, though. Why does nobody bid for him?
At worst, he's gonna run down the
Couscous
last
facing
four.
out is wild.
These Chelsea fans are shameless, bro. They
Yeah.
tell me how good these players are. Nobody trying to buy them, bro.
Ziad,
Bro,
if you
Ziyech is-
Ziad, if you were ever an ITK, I'd kill myself. How about that?
He's running down his contract.
In the
He
no,
wants the money.
You're in the shit. You're an ITS. You're in the shit, bro. That's what you
bro. You know what Ziyech did? Ziyech finessed that, bro. Ziyech is the equivalent to a guy who applies to a Kickstartup company, bro. And he lies on his resume. Nobody tested it, and he just enjoys the salary, bro. Because nobody can sack him. Man. That's all of Ziyech
It's
is, bro.
true.
Contract.
He's the equivalent of a YouTuber asking for on a charity stream and scamming people out of money. That's what it is.
You know what he's equivalent to? He's equivalent to if any of you know the Milk Boys, he's the equivalent of Stanley, bro. He's just there because he knew somebody, bro.
Do you know what he is? Have you ever watched Prison Break?
Yeah, part of it.
So, yeah,
Don't
if you
do
ever
it,
watched
no.
Prison Break.
Don't do it.
He's the character Teabag. If you ever watched Prison Break.
I've not seen Prison Break. I do need to watch it.
Oh my
A
god.
character teabag. Oh my days.
If anything, I know what teabag is. That is
Yeah,
pretty bad.
yeah.
If you
That's
don't
not
know,
good.
search it up. Just
That's what
Yeah,
Ziad
I'm
was.
okay.
I know what teabag is, but if it's like that, then yeah.
No, not
Ziad.
80.
That's Ziad.
No, like
That's
that
Ziad.
is he actually
No.
teabagging someone?
I actually
No,
have a
he's
perfect
not.
metaphor.
He's not.
I have a
Ah.
perfect
No,
metaphor.
Is
no,
that
he's-
character? God
Yeah.
damn.
You know who Ziyech
Ziyad
is?
Ziyad
You know who
is
Ziyech is?
Ziyad is
No, no.
Teabag's guy. You know what I mean?
No, no.
The
I
whole
don't want to hear it when you're fucking Gallagher, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Bro, you know who Ziyech is? You know who Ziyech is? Wait, you know who Ziyech is? Have any of you seen Breaking Bad? Do you know there's two guys who tried to manipulate that Mexican guy and take money from his grandma? That's Ziyech, bro. That's Ziyech, bro. Ziyech is their equivalent,
guys are
bro. Trying to
wild.
scam us for
Leave
money, bro.
Ziyech alone. Listen, Ziyech is leaving. We don't have to talk about Ziyech anymore once he
One-
leaves.
just one thing, Kiki, just one
Fucking
thing,
couscous
Kiki.
prince, bro. I know what you
Ziad,
know here, bro.
you're the Mason Mount of panelists, bro. That's
No. I is Mason Mount for the bid. That's why I hate you so much.
Listen,
Shame
the
on you,
club,
bro. Mine no
game,
normal size,
game
bro. Shame on
recognizes
you, bro.
game, all right? The club will recognize
Oh, look at him,
that
so
this
happy,
man
so happy.
was
Jesus
so
Christ.
good in the World Cup,
More man of the
and
match
they will
in
come for him.
Gallagher's lifetime.
The one
I
thing,
can't
yeah,
fucking
the one,
smile, this guy, man. This
the
guy's
one,
so fucking miserable, this guy. Can't fucking smile. He's at
He
the
plays for
fucking
Chelsea
World
on the bench under Lampard. Who wouldn't be miserable?
Cup. That was a World Cup picture. He's playing for his country. and he
Yeah,
can't
because
even-
you remember
Yeah.
yes, that shit of the fan base. That's why. He's
listen,
thinking
the
about
one thing I'll give Ziyech, the one thing I'll give Ziyech is
I don't want to hear it from you, bro. I don't want to hear it.
His Instagram photos, bro. They're cold. I'll give him that.
Oh my
But
God.
it's absolutely corrupt.
Marshall,
This is where we've come to, man. This is where we come to.
I
man.
didn't-
I've just realised
Right, end the
something.
stream. Let's kill
I
ourselves.
just realised something. It's happened. We just move on. We can't do this. We can't have a 20
Okay.
conversation.
Well, I'm gonna go on a tangent here.
Yeah.
This is your next favorite topic, boys. I didn't want to discuss this with you. There's some stats that I wanted to bring up that I thought were shocking. So let's go. Scott, this is
shocking
your
too?
favorite.
Who
I
they
mean,
shocking
it's
to?
Chelsea stats, so you know it's
Oh.
not gonna be amazing. It's not.
Hey, listen, he doesn't ride off into the sunset, but at least we can send him off into the sunset, right? So we'll go ahead and finish.
Shoot him into the
This is
sun.
the
That's what I'd
this
do,
is the
man.
last of the Lampard news I'm sure we're ever going to talk about. So there's some Lampard stuff that I wanted to discuss. Frank Lampard had tried addressing the squad as a group on more than one occasion and also invited players into his office for individual chats, but nothing really got through. That's pretty sad.
You know why?
You were telling me he was
Wait,
a
real
fucking
quick. Let me just
Let him
finish.
reading,
Just
guys.
finish.
Let him finish
I
reading.
got three more tweets. A player arrived late for the team bus, but because they had nipped home for a nap after training. That had happened on at least one occasion at Chelsea this season, without it causing much more than a few smirks and the odd shake of the head among the majority of players. Probably Mudryk, to be honest. Nathan Jones, only one Premier League game this season. It was against Frank Lampard's Everton. This is in response to Frank Lampard has a 14% win ratio as Premier League manager this season across 2 clubs. He's just ahead of Nathan Jones on 13%. And then the last tweet right here. CFC are the biggest underperformance of XG, negative 10.1 for the Premier League season. That is
Shocking.
fucking horrible. That's absolutely terrible. But yeah, go ahead.
Not even the preview. I said managers. Lampard is the equivalent to a manager. Like whenever they come over to his office, he's like, "Sit down, have a biscuit." You know, he's that kind of fucking guy, bro. He's trying to explain to them what to do, man. There's no fucking.
He's not even on this preview.
Lampard managerial style is how he is. You know what I mean? Just
Bro, he doesn't know
one
what to do,
way.
man. It's clear,
It
bro.
doesn't work. Stuff like. But let me. This is what I keep saying. That nap story or whatever. Bro, these players hated you as a manager. They didn't respect you as a manager. There were still players there from the previous time you were there. They told the others how shit you were as a manager. They saw it in training. Then it went, and that's how they played. That's how they played. They played how you trained them or supposed to train them. They didn't. That's the thing. They didn't play. They just showed how poor of a communicator you are. And the fact that you've come from us and our winning style and had the managers like Mourinho, Conte, Ancelotti, and you haven't taken a single thing of their managerial style says to me, well, yeah, the worst. He's taken the worst bit. Yeah. But taking honestly, you need to. I don't need to hear Lampard's name associated with Chelsea for at least a year. I need the detox.
What do you mean, 10? Try 10, bro.
Whatever, man. He does. I don't want to see him at the ground. I don't. The manager. I just don't want this guy. This guy needs to go, man.
Andrew. Based on his performances. Based on his performance, I don't think you have a lot to fear, bro. I don't think based on performances this season.
Andrew, based on everything you just said there, by the way, I completely agree. Just take Chelsea and put football. The word football in there.
Football. Sorry, I don't even. Because let me just say this: why if he becomes a pundit? Why the fuck would I listen to him about tactics when I've seen him actually manage? What does he know about tactics, bro?
You know what it's like. You know what it's like, Andrew. It's like when you have a fat gym coach and he tells you how to get abs, bro. I'm like, I don't believe you, bro. You don't have fucking abs, bro.
It's like me advising you how to get fit. You know what I mean? It's like that, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point? What's the point? You know what I mean? What is the point? Fail. I'd fail. It would be a failure. That's what this guy is. Failure.
Yeah, that first thing as well, by the way, the thing about
XG,
the thing about like speaking to people in groups or what's this guy? Fucking like, is he a bloody counsellor, a therapist?
We got rid of one in Graham Potter.
He tried.
This guy's coming
Bro,
in.
I was gonna say that's the thing. At least we got rid of a guy that could like coach players. We literally got rid of him to bring just a therapist. He just literally came to be a therapist. That's all he was there for.
Imagine this. The guys who are Potter, okay, we're not playing well. We don't really want Potter or something like this. He's gone. And they get this guy and go, Jesus Christ, this guy's worse than the previous one. What the hell's going on here? Do you know what I mean? It's like
the thing is, Andrew, at least you can say with Potter, he was hands-on. Like with Lampard, all we heard like from him in press conferences, I've observed this, I've observed that. What have you actually done then? All I'm hearing is you've observed. So you've observed. And
for the training.
What would we call this? It's usually a manager.
You blamed it for the training. Like you made them.
Exactly. All you've done is speak to people and observe. Like that's all you've done, bro.
Well, that's
what
what
are you
I'm
an
talking
invigilator,
about.
bro?
What do they usually say? I don't know what the equivalent is. This is a manager. Well, the usual is a manager bounce. This is what a manager deflation. I don't know what it would rebound.
Manager splat.
That's what a bounce is.
Rebound means going. Manager crash.
Manager absence. That's what it is, bro.
Well, who the fuck on Skype, bro? Who's using Skype still, bro?
Ziad, man, what's going on, bro?
Oh, man.
Skype. I had to play the Skype tune in my head and be like, "What was that Skype?"
Yeah, dude, you should
That wasn't
Skype.
Skype.
What the fuck, man?
Did you guys see? Did you guys see that Pedro Almeida guy, the Portuguese insider? He just retweeted Enzo and the Uruguayan guy, Ugarte. I can't say that together. Yeah, and he quoted previous tweets. So I guess it is done, man. So there's a lot more.
Maybe by the end of the show, it will actually be 100% confirmed.
No. So Pentago just confirmed right now that.
I saw that.
Yeah, so basically all he's saying is that Chelsea have basically given a better bid, and from what we've seen from Portugal, it seems that they've agreed something with the player. So it's just about basically finishing off the details, it seems.
The thing I read about that, going back to that, is that we're doing a buyout clause of 6 million plus the bonuses, and that's why Sporting have accepted it at this moment in time. I think PSG has said they're just going to do whatever the buyout.
Really, yeah. We're doing.
I think we'll get him. I think we'll get him,
because we PSG are just offering a buyout. We are doing the buyout plus bonuses because we don't want to pay the straight buyout. That's what it is, and that's how you save them the money, essentially. So that's probably why they want to do that. So.
Hey guys, listen, you can check out my YouTube video on that one, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, Ahmed, send me the link in the private chat so I can post in the details.
Don't do that. I reported it for misinformation. So.
Ahmed, put the link in the private so that I can put it in the description.
Hey, I might report that for copyright or something. I don't know.
What? You started a Gallagher fan channel? You started a Gallagher fan channel?
No, I was doing
Oh my days.
No, I'm not that. Stop for love. Let's relax, guys.
All right, real quick. Let's before we move on to the next topic, we're almost at 70 likes, guys. 3 away. Smash that like button so that we can get to our goal right there. Let me move on to the next topic here, which is let's talk about the squad and some interesting things that have happened at Chelsea, in news that has broken out about Chelsea during our season that I would like to discuss. Let's talk.
Where we start? Was there 100 of them?
Graham Potter is back here. Okay, so unlike Graham Potter, who tried his best to keep everyone involved, Mauricio Pochettino is not expected to be quite as accommodating once he has decided who does and does not fit into his plans. The next tweet I wanted to discuss about Chelsea is that Chelsea are already expecting to receive lowball offers from clubs looking to exploit their need to sell, but they are calm and claim they will get it done. Though numerous well-placed sources have expressed doubt whether that will all be possible without Chelsea having to dip into their pockets at some point, the wages many of their stars are earning are unlikely to be matched elsewhere in many cases. And then the last tweet I wanted to discuss regarding the squad is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic, Edu Mendy, Callum Hudson-Odoi are set to be moved on. The future of Kalidou Koulibaly, Kante, Aspie are unclear, while there is interest in Conor Gallagher, Chalobah, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming from Simon Jones.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek is almost done from all the reports in Italy.
Yes.
It's a
we'll discuss that right after, but it's just about done.
This is from May to 2022, bro. No wonder.
Pretty much. It was 3 days ago. It's not that long ago.
Actually 4 technically in Europe.
You're a time traveler, man. You're a time traveler, man. Bloody hell.
I am, man. This is what I do. Sometimes people, hey, for example, Real Chris doesn't hear half of this news until he comes to the show, right, Chris?
Did he?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Chris hasn't heard half the sentence usually when he's on stream, so it's all good.
He's too busy taking care of his sheep, man.
No, Chris.
Man. Never a dull day without the sheep, man. Always bringing up the goddamn sheep.
Chris is right into like half of his Captain Crunch bowl of cereal right now. As you said that sentence, bro. He doesn't have time for you, man.
Hey,
listen.
Honestly, happy birthday to his dog. Happy birthday to your dog, man.
Why is his camera flip?
Oh, is it
motherfucker older than me, bro?
No.
Yes, he's older than me.
It was the other day, right?
No, it's close to it. No, it's close to it.
Oh, fuck's sake, man.
Fake news, Surfer. Fake news.
Oh, this guy said, for fuck's sake. Fine,
Blame me. You should have read it, man.
You know what? You're right. Let's move.
But it looks like a lot of these transfers.
Oh, yes, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Andrew, you are sideways. Listen,
Why is Calvert Noise still
Spider-Man
here?
comes out yesterday, and all of a sudden Andrew wants to be like Spider-Man, man. Coming off the walls and shit. Jesus.
That's a bad
Spider-Man
thing.
is the worst.
Shut up, Ahmed. Are you serious? You of all people, bro. Come on,
Ahmed thinks he's
bro.
Batman.
Have some shame. Anyways,
Marsh, I didn't think of you as a Spider-Man fan, bro. To be honest.
I like Spider-Man. He's my favorite Marvel hero.
I don't like
Is-
many
is he?
superheroes, but Spider-Man's he's not like one. The cartoon one, nah.
Tobey Maguire is my favorite Spider-Man.
Thank
But
you,
but
man.
Daredevil's my guy.
Let's stick to Chelsea, bro. Let's
Give me Venom, bro. Give me
This isn't the
Venom.
Nexus. This isn't the
Yeah,
Nexus.
exactly.
We'll stick
Got
to
through the
Chelsea.
important sales bit, yeah. You know what I mean? We got to get to that.
All right, moving on to the next topic. Whereas I
Got
wanted
news
to
from last year to
discuss.
get into. Let's do it, man.
On
No.
this, though, there's
Okay,
literally.
There you go,
I
Scott.
was just on the people mentioned. There's literally one person on here that I would like to stay, but I'm not like dead set on it staying.
Gallagher.
You mean in the
Oh,
panel?
Oh yeah, that's it. No, on the players, like there's only one guy in that entire list that I'd like to stay, but I'm not like
Good about it.
dead set. No. Chalobah is the only one I would like.
I didn't see Chalobah.
Thank you, Scott.
Everyone
Because
else
we're
in that
going to
panel.
discuss that right now. Scott,
He's always
you can
fast.
start us off on this one, all right, Scott? Trevor Chalobah wants to stay and fight for his Chelsea place under incoming head coach Mauricio Pochettino, despite interest from Inter Milan in
Jesus,
signing him
man.
this summer, coming from Liam Toomey. Scott, talk to me.
I like this. Like this,
I like it too.
it says a lot. Like when you've got others, and I'm not talking about who you think I'm talking about here, who don't want to fight for their place. I think it says a lot about kind of the club moving forward. I was talking more about Mount, not Colwell. I assume people were talking about Colwell. Yeah, I think it says a lot with considering where he's at, his position in the squad, considering the fact that currently he's like fourth choice centre back. Obviously that may change, but currently he's fourth choice, and then Cole's coming back, and I know they like him. But yeah, so I think it is good. Whether he stays or not remains to be seen. But I think it is good that he wants to fight. Like it's not just that he's trying to just get a paycheck. It's the fact that he wants to actually play football and fight for his place because he thinks he's good enough, and I like that.
Yeah.
Whether it stays
He's
or
still
not
like
remains to be
23 as well.
Bro, he's 23, but look at his forehead, man. He has so many lines. My guy is stressed at Chelsea, bro. He looks stressed at Chelsea, bro.
You would be stressed this season. You would be stressed.
Bro, yeah, if you play under Graham Potter, I'd be stressed too, but I'd lose all my hair, man. I look like Lampard, man.
Bro, he looks like he's doing an engineering degree, man.
Bro, I know, man. He looks straight. He looks
Yeah,
like
you can relate, right?
Hey, man, you don't see the response.
Like fucking King Neptune when he takes off his hat.
Ahmed has the hairline from the clown from It, bro.
Oh my god.
Pennywise.
Oh my god, that's bad.
Oh my God, Pennywise! Jesus Christ, poor Pennywise.
Oh,
Wow.
Even
Wow. Good drink now. You have to do the good drink, man. You know what?
No worries. Everyone, Ahmed will forgive as long as you subscribe to his channel, okay?
Marshall with the
Right
Hulk
there.
Hogan heel turn on
I'm the nice guy here.
Yeah, exactly.
Marshall was always a heel, bro. You just don't know him personally, bro. That's why. That's all it is, man.
All right. So moving on. Well, not moving on to the next topic, but on the Chalobah thing, I respect it. Listen, I know he hasn't been the best CB. You know, he hasn't been. He's had a lot of games where he's looked questionable, very shaky at best. You know, but I don't think he ever wanted to leave Chelsea. I don't. I think he does want to fight for his. Yeah, exactly. He signed that really long contract. What was it? 8-year contract? 7-year contract?
Oh, he's not a high
I
wage.
don't know. I think
Maybe
it's
6. I don't remember.
But the thing about him is, the thing about it is the way he comes across, and it's very rare in footballers. He does seem very humble about whatever the situation is, and I think
He doesn't complain. Doesn't put up a fuss.
if you were to tell him, the Poch said, "Yeah, you're part of my plan, so you'll be fine," but you're not like you're in a squad, not on the team. I think he came out and said that's fine. But if you would say to him, "Well, actually, we're thinking about sending you to him," I don't think he wouldn't kick up a fuss. It seems like.
Right.
Seems like that. He seems like that kind of guy. Just okay, no problem. I'll go.
But
I'll go
Andrew,
out, and you wouldn't get a fuss for him. So
on that, we've seen that this season in terms of like what you said about the attitude, like the fact that like I know it's a small thing, but go and look what he's done in terms of his physique this season. Like if he posts those pictures, like that takes some dedication. That takes a good level of attitude. And it's like we saw it as well in terms of I think it was the summer when or at the beginning of the season when he wasn't getting a lot of game time.
Yeah.
I think it was this summer where he wasn't getting a lot of game time and there was talk of him wanting a loan so he could go out and play games. And then obviously he started to get more game time, got more involved, and then that went away. But yeah, like he does just want to play football at the end of the day. But I think he wants to play for Chelsea, preferably. And that's I said it. Just he's got the right attitude to have. Like he's got 100% the right attitude, and that's the thing. Chalobah is someone, by the way, that will go far in football just because of that attitude, and because he's got enough ability that if he can improve a little bit, he'll definitely go far. 100%.
Keyword.
Improve. He does have to improve. He really does. But I think he will. I think he can. I think
was giving that guy the work, bro. You know what I mean? We saw that, man.
No, but hey, like you got to give him props where it's due. He's not a right back, but when he was asked to step up as a right back, and he said, like, Aspie gave him pointers and all that stuff, that probably did help. But like when it came to stepping up to being a right back, like he didn't do the best job, but there was good link up play between him and Madueke this season in the later half. The last few games, he looked impressive. So it's like when asked to step up, he does step up, and I can appreciate that. So I don't mind keeping him. If we do get a good price for him, then I think we should let him go. We do have to fix up the books. I do want him to get his play time, and I do want him to develop.
For me, will we get like a good 4th or 5th choice center back for the same price? No. What's the point of selling him, man? I would rather spending the money on other areas, man. He's not on a high wage.
The only thing I'll say, Kai, I think it all depends on the COLWILL situation. I really think it does. If he stays, if they want COLWILL to stay, then I think Chalobah goes. If they offer COLWILL, and I agree with Scott, I think it would be a mistake. But if they offer COLWILL on loan to another season to get the CAICEDO deal done, then I think Chalobah stays.
But honestly, I don't want us to spend any more money on CBs, man. We need to build other areas up.
No, you're right. Man. No, that's what I mean. So it's like we don't have to, because if COLWILL stays, then Chalobah will be sold because we've already got COLWILL, right? If COLWILL is included in the loan as a loan deal as part of CAICEDO, then Chalobah stays, and we've got the 4 centre backs. So it doesn't make them. We are not spending any more money. Sense, We're not spending any more money on centre backs this season. It's just this summer. It's not happening. So.
But even if you loan, go on, Scott.
Go ahead, Oliver, and then I'll ask Marshall the question.
I was going to say, even if we loan COLWILL, though, we still got 5 centre backs for a back 4. So I think whatever happens to Koulibaly this summer, that's got to play. That's got to play a factor as well, I think.
Bro, if he plays back 5, I want him out, man, from game 1. I'm tired of back 4, man.
Having 5 centre backs for a back 4, having 5 centre backs for a back 4 whilst not having Europe, that just can't fly. Too many people are going to miss out game time.
Marshall, I just want to say quickly that I probably see Levi COLWILL staying, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Poch does a COLWILL and what's his name, Fofana as a back 2 to start. I think that would be
that's a horrible back 2 to start with.
No, why not?
That's like I don't want that to be going back in, like, to be starting. That can be an aim. That shouldn't be what you start the season with, in my opinion.
No, but but that okay. So I think for me that would probably be what your future starting lineup would be. With Badi should be interchangeable for your left side because he's the left foot.
God damn me. That's harsh. What are you gonna ask me, Scott?
Is COLWILL a topic, like the Brighton bid a topic?
Hey man, this is why you're on the panel, bro. Let's go ahead and discuss the COLWILL CAICEDO stuff.
Cool, because I just wanted to touch on that because we brought it up so many times.
So let me just read these tweets real quick, and then we'll get into more of an in-depth discussion based on what we heard here. Chelsea remain absolutely into the race for Moises Caicedo. Nothing has changed. He's on the list 100% no matter what happens, with Ugarte deal still ongoing. Moving on to the next tweet from Fabrizio. In the next days, I think Chelsea will try and attack this situation in regards to the Moises Caicedo situation. Then we have more here. Chelsea are plotting a move for Moises Caicedo. Brighton could hold out. Brighton could hold out for £80 million. Chelsea could offer the chance for Brighton to bring COLWILL back on loan as part of CAICEDO deal. And then I think here's where we talk about more about the COLWILL situation. Chelsea could offer Brighton to offer Brighton the chance to sign Levi Colwill on loan as part of the Moises Caicedo deal. And then there is a concern that Colwill would not be assured regular game time at Chelsea next season, with January signing Benoit Badiashile, which I brought up earlier, also a left-footed center back.
This, by the way, would be the dumbest deal you could do. Just the stupidest thing you could do.
Wait, which Ben said it? Which Ben said it? Was it Ben? Which Ben? It was Ben Jacob, man. Ben Jacob was capping a lot, man. Don't believe him.
Oh, Benoit Badiashile, I said. No, not Ben.
No, I mean, like, which Ben is the reporter? I mean, which is the source?
This is Simon Johnson leaving to me.
Yeah, Athletic.
Where did you hear Ben, man?
No,
I think he heard Benoit. Benoit.
No, the Colwill one. Is it the tweet before this one? It was reported by Ben something, no?
Oh,
that Brighton might take him for another loan.
Yep.
Yeah, but that would honestly, that would be the stupidest, absolute dumbest move you could make.
Well, I mean, it goes back to what I said though, Scott. Right? Like, I know this kid wants guaranteed minutes, and sure, he's been really good for Brighton, but we also have an LCB and Benoit Badiashile.
Jacob.
Marshall, if that's the case, you sell him. You which I still think is stupid.
You sell Colwill? Okay.
Yeah, if that's your thought process, you've already got Badiashile and you believe in him so much that you think it's worth Colwill not being here, then sell him, because this is literally what we did with Courtois, and why he spent 4 years, or that's why we got in the situation with Courtois, is because we loaned him to Madrid twice, so he built a family there. Like, this is dumb. Literally just this guy already loves the club, right? He already loves Brighton because of what they've offered him this season, what he's done this season. He'll never want to come back ever if you do this. So you might as well sell him.
I don't agree with it. It seems pointless to put him out on loan again, to be honest. I would want him as part of the squad. If it were up to me,
you either bring him back.
I was just gonna say, like, if it were up to me, I just bring him back and let him compete with Badiashile. You tell him what he wants to hear, and then if he doesn't play well, then he doesn't get a first squad spot. That's that simple. Like, a player should understand that if you don't play well, you're not guaranteed a spot in the first squad. Maybe Mason now got away with playing however many games he played under Potter, but a lot of us on here were saying bench him. Same thing with Kai Havertz, bench him. Guarantee you bring in a competent striker, competent number 10. We saw with João Felix. Once João Felix came in, Mount got benched. What happens when we get a proper striker? If Havertz stays, Havertz is going to get benched. So if Benoit Badiashile comes back from his injury and he plays better than you, you make a mistake, or we want to rotate because of FA Cup and Benoit Badiashile puts on a clinic, maybe you get benched. You got to fight for your spot at Chelsea. You're not guaranteed.
Why is it stupid, Scott? Sorry, I cut out when you were talking about it. I don't get why this is stupid.
It's another Courtois situation. Like, you're just letting him build a bot. Yeah, it's another Courtois situation. Courtois left and pushed
went to Real Madrid, not Brighton.
Atletico Madrid, not Real Madrid, man.
No, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is he pushed the move to back to Real Madrid.
Yes,
not
because his family are in Madrid.
His family started in Atletico Madrid, bro. That's why what Scott is referring to.
Yeah, so he built a family in Madrid, and then he did that for 2 years, and we brought him back while his family was still in Madrid. That's why he pushed so hard to move. Yes, it's Real Madrid, but also his family's living in Madrid. Like, this is it's not quite as bad because it's not a country, but like, you're allowing this kid to develop a bond with that fan base and with that club to the point where, like, he's never going to want to come back ever. Especially if they build on what they've done this season, he will never want to come back.
I can't disagree. I respect you, Scott, but I couldn't disagree more.
Selling him because if you think he's not ready, you sell him. If you think that he's not ready and he needs another loan, and he's already had 2, and you haven't seen enough in those 2 loans, sell him. Because what's the point? Because you obviously have that much faith in Badiashile to be that guy.
I think it's more of the point is that you want to try benefit as much as you can in terms of the CAICEDO deal and get more of a cut price. So while doing that, you're sending out on a player in Colwill who hasn't proved a lot. Whether we like it or not, he hasn't proved that much. So he can go to Brighton, who are doing well in Europe, let him prove himself a bit more, gain more experience, and then he comes back and fights for a spot while we're only playing 1 game a season. You've got Koulibaly, you've got Badiashile who can play on the left-hand side. So we're not in need of him as much as even if the CAICEDO deal apart, we're not in need of another centre back. He doesn't have to come back in.
Being the Premier League,
Real quick, boys. I forgot
First
there was
time
a
he
tweet
scored
here,
this
and I
week.
want you guys I want you guys to tell me your thoughts on this. The view of the club is that there is no issue with defying convention playing two left-footed center backs in the same team. Colwill's thinking is likely to be determined as to whether or not he can see a pathway. This is from Jacob Steinberg.
This only works if one of them is exceptional with their right foot.
Yeah. You know, if Poch wants to do it, then that's fair enough. It's his decision at the end of the day. I just don't want it to be a thing where it's, oh, we have to shoehorn in COLWILL, so we'll play him and Badiashile. I want it to be those two compete for the left. Whoever's best on form, they play.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, COLWILL hasn't even played one game for us yet. I'm sorry, what is this talk of him coming in and Badiashile, oh my god, I'm in trouble? No, Badiashile will start, and if he starts to struggle,
we're talking about someone who, based on the ability that he has shown at other clubs and based on the trajectory he is going at, could be one of the best centre backs in the league. We're not talking about.
We can deal with him for one. We can lose that for one more season.
No, we can't.
Right, what's the point?
Because you want to get at a much cheaper price of CAICEDO is important, and
if you want to do that, give him another player, like give him Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, or give him Arnie on loan.
Ziyech. The other thing as well is that if we send COLWILL out on loan, he comes back to Chelsea in 2024 with a year left on his contract, and then that just puts us in a completely sticky situation.
It's not even that. Say he comes back and Badiashile solidified his place as left centre back. Where's the pathway for him then?
No, you're right.
Because then he's got even less of a chance. Because now he has a chance to compete. If he comes back next season and Badiashile is the nailed-on starter at left centre back, and the pairing is Fofana and it's Badiashile, where's the pathway for him? Where does he play?
That I can understand. I
think COLWIll will get a chance anyway because Badiashile was injured. You know, it's kind of like, you know, we're not too sure how he's going to start the season or what pre-season is going to look like for him. So
he's not going to be Oliver. He's not going to be in pre-season because his injury is 4 months. He's going to be back in September.
There we go.
Early September at the most. So that's what I'm saying to you. Like, COLWIll probably will be able to get a starting spot if I'm in.
That's my point. So he's missing the start of the season. He's guaranteed to miss the start of the season, which means you're either going to have to play Fofana and Silva as the pairing, which I'm not opposed to, or you maybe have to see what COLWIll can do. Like, at the very least, COLWIll will get a chance. And then it's on him to, like, what's it called? To show it. To, like, prove that he deserves that chance or, like, deserves to stay in the team.
Yep.
I heard like decent things about COLWILL, but did he like do really well at like Brighton or something? Because like I'm not sure. He was what?
He put on in a split, bro.
Yeah, because I didn't hear. I swear he didn't like. He hasn't played like every game, has he? Like this season.
He's played a lot more in the later half of the season. He played a lot more.
Oh, later half, yeah. Because I swear, like, because I do look at people's like game lineups on my app, and sometimes he's just not there.
And I think it's an important thing that you guys brought up is the fact that Badiashile is going to be injured for 4 months, leaving him out until approximately September if all goes well. Honestly, it's up to Badiashile to step up and show that he can overtake that position. It's up to Levi COLWIll to keep consistent performances and make sure he solidifies his spot and doesn't get dropped. So,
but I can understand the sorry, Marshall. I can understand the in terms of the preseason Badiashile being injured. And then, but even the point of if Badiashile, COLWIll goes on loan, and then all of a sudden Badiashile has another great season, where's the pathway? But if COLWIll does that great again in Brighton, right, in a more like they expect more from him because they're in Europe now, then he should have a pathway in itself. But I just don't. I'm not having this. Oh, he's build a relationship, Brighton, Courtois situation. I'm not having that at all. Guys, 19 years old. I don't know. He's a good talent, bro. But like. But you trying to get a good deal for CAICEDO or not, bro? Like,
why wouldn't? Why? Go ahead, sorry. Why are you not? Seeing as that Brighton have given him his first big break, they've welcomed him and made him feel settled. Yep. I don't understand why you're not even contemplating that happening, given the fact that he's never actually played for us. I don't understand why you wouldn't even open your mind to that and go, actually, yeah, that is a possibility that could happen.
Because if he wants to go at the end of I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Brighton are going to have this amazing season season in and season out. But
that's
regardless,
nothing to do with this
if they,
transfer. Though.
that's nothing got to do with transfer. But so if he wants to go and move to Brighton, that's that's his own problem. I'm sorry. Would you respect to Brighton? We're not Brighton. You know what I mean?
But you're causing that to happen.
Hang on. That's still not an answer to my question. The question is, why wouldn't you think him like starting at Brighton, them giving him his first break in the Premier League, which he wants to play? Why wouldn't you think he would have some emotional attachment to them?
No, 100% he has emotional attachment, Andrew. 100% he does. But we're Chelsea at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, no, but it isn't an answer to your question because him having the ability to go and having an opportunity at Chelsea in itself. Okay, we hear you've done well in Brighton. Okay, but you have an opportunity in Chelsea because Koulibaly will gone. So realistically, our only left-sided centre back will be Badiashile, right? So come in and prove yourself. That's all it is. If you would rather not come to Chelsea and prove yourself over Badiashile, because that's who he's going to be, the only left centre back that's going to be there by the time he gets there, instead of go to Brighton and get the easy way, that's down to the player. I'm sorry.
It's not the easy way.
Not an easy way.
It's not the easy way, right? But it's not going to have... Show yourself. You've had a good season or 2 or 3, wherever it may be at Brighton. You're going to come at Chelsea, your dream club, boyhood club, all that nonsense, right? And only Badiashile is ahead of you.
There's a difference with this. No, there's a difference with this, and I've realised it, and it's you see it a lot with certain players where if they believe in themselves and they believe they are a top level, we've seen this before. We saw this with Rice. To a lesser extent, there were other mitigating factors with Musiala. We've seen it with other players. If they don't believe that they are going to get a pathway, they'll happily move elsewhere from the club they're at to go and play elsewhere. We saw it with Jadon Sancho. And what did he do? Understand he's been poor in the Premier League, but he lit the Bundesliga on fire. Like, we've seen this before with players. Like, if they don't
100%, Scott. 100%, I don't see why there's no pathway.
To defend Ziyech on this too, like first of all, there is a pathway. There is a pathway for Colwell. I don't know how he doesn't see it, but there should be a pathway to Colwell. Your competition is Badiashile, who is a relatively a similar age to you, and I think there is a little bit of look. I respect the confidence from Colwell, and I think Scott does too. But one thing I wanted to point out is that someone like Trevoh Chalobah that could go to another team and start, I don't see him putting up a fuss about his play time. I don't see him putting up a fuss about, there's no path for me. Like, what's the difference exactly?
The difference between the two. Yeah, Kova has a little bit of arrogance, but the reason is, and this is the thing, is Chalobah has a ceiling. COLWILL, based on his own ability and based on like what he's done at both youth level, which take with a pinch of salt, but also what he's done both in the Championship and also now in the Premier League. Like, there is a level of arrogance there because this kid believes, as do a lot of people that have seen him play, believe he can reach the level of being one of the best centre-backs in the league. Chalobah will never reach that level, ever. Even, I said he'll have a solid career, he's never going to reach best centre-back in the league level. So, like, that's just what the guys have. Like, it's the same with other players. Like, other players, as I said, have this arrogance. Like, say what you want. Erling Haaland has this level of arrogance. Zlatan has this level of arrogance. Ronaldo had this level of arrogance. Messi, to a certain extent, haven't had a level of arrogance. Don't put his name in.
Scott, listen. I feel like you're missing the point a bit.
Have this level of arrogance for certain things. Like,
sure.
Like, someone, by the way, someone that we rate highly now, he's come to our club. Enzo has this level of arrogance. Enzo decided. Enzo had, I think, half a season or a full season out on loan. Won I don't know what they won, but I think they won the top title in Argentina at the club he was on loan at. Went back to River Plate, was there 6 months, then wanted to move. Then went to Benfica, was there 6 months, then wanted another move. Like, is he in the wrong for just wanting to keep moving and wanting to get to the best? No, because
you're missing the point, Scott. You're missing the point. Because can I ask you this question, Scott? Right? Say we do this deal for CAICEDO and Colwell. He goes on loan for 1 more year, right? Next season, Mr. Big Bollocks Colwell, right? Mr. I'm so confident. Mr. I've done it all so far, right? Where isn't the pathway for him? Can you tell me why there isn't a pathway for Colwell next season?
Because by that point, Badiashile has played a lot more games, has solidified the position.
Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. With all due respect, bollocks. Because
But why?
if he thinks he can reach best centre backs in the league, if he thinks he's done amazingly well in Brighton and in Europe, he should be saying, "No, this is Chelsea Football Club. This is my club. This is my dream to play for this club. I'm gonna come and take out another 22, 23-year-old. This is not Thiago Silva. This is not Marquinhos. This is not. I'm going to come and take your spot. Simple as that.
Can I ask you a question then, Ziad? What happens if, in this hypothetical, what happens then if City come in for a bid?
What do you mean? It depends who wants to play first team football for. Does he want to play first team football for Chelsea or Man City? Because he's got the option of both.
I'm sorry, if I'm Colwell in that situation, I'm saying City. Say Real Madrid put an offer in. Say Bayern put an offer in. This is the thing. This is all we're doing now. We've got a guy here, and this is what I don't understand. We've got a guy here who has the potential. This is another Reece James level talent that we have in our. Yes, 100%.
Well, I mean,
that's a big claim, bro.
I'm saying potential, by the way. I'm not saying he's at Reece.
No.
James. I'm saying the ceiling is Reece James level talent, and instead of giving him the pathway to be able to show that talent, which I'm not saying he has to play every game, I'm saying that he has to be given game time. Instead of doing that, we're deciding to loan him out, and instead of giving him a chance, we're going to keep loaning him out, keeping him away from the first team, because again, we think that this guy, the biggest thing for me that it does is it shows him that we don't see. If I'm Colwell in that situation, my first thought is they don't see me as good as Bad Was Lampard.
Yeah, I agree with that, Scott.
They don't see me as good as him, because if they did, they'd keep me. Actually, fuck that. Actually, screw all of that. They don't see me as good as Koulibaly, because that's the back.
Okay, that's kind of
reaching. Hang on. So you're telling me that it can't be Colwell and Bad Was Lampard. If they think that the two is Koulibaly and Bad Was Lampard, my first thought is, well, they don't even see me to be competing with Koulibaly. Why am I staying here? What's the point? I'm gonna just go elsewhere.
I get where you're coming from the player's side. Like, if I were the player, I would feel kind of vexed in a certain type of way. But at the same time, like, when I look at Chelsea's situation, I agree with what you're saying. I don't think we should loan him out. If we're gonna give him to Brighton, I think just sell him at that point. I think it'd just be too disrespectful for him. We'd be holding him back, and I feel like from Brighton he can go and excel at whatever level he wants to excel, whether he wants to stay at Brighton or go to a bigger club. Sure. The thing is, for me, is that I think it all revolves on the CAICEDO situation. If we could get a bargain off of CAICEDO, I think the club sees that DM position is a lot more important to fulfill than trying to get Levi Colwell competing for an LCB position when we have Koulibaly, who says he wants to fight for his position. And listen, as shit as he's been, he hasn't been detrimental to the point where, like, he is the reason Chelsea are in the position that they are. He is third choice, second choice LCB at the moment. Bad Was Lampard is in that position amongst who's the other option we have there? I guess Fofana or
no. This is the thing, Marshall. It's only Koulibaly and Bad Was Lampard. And by the time
Cucurella too.
No in the back four. No in the back four.
No. And by the time he comes back from loan, it will only be Bad Was Lampard. That's it.
My point being is that I think the club are prioritizing that DM position over the LCB position, which is why you're hearing that it's potential that Colwell could go in the other direction. And if he does go in the other direction, I think it is disrespectful to put him out on loan. At that point, just sell him, make your money, and really cut a deal for the CAICEDO stuff.
Just quickly from me on this point, why do we need to add Colwell into a potential deal for CAICEDO?
Because they want him. They want him.
Because that's what Brighton want. What are you talking about?
No, they don't. No, they don't. Listen, it's just that, with my opinion, you can just pay whatever you want for whatever they want for him.
Hold on, I don't have the tweet. I don't have the tweet, but I'm pretty sure Brighton already offered something for Colwell.
Yeah, 30 million.
30 million.
Yeah, 30 million. It's really low, but you expect it from Brighton.
That's terrible.
But the club don't want to sell him. If the club don't want to sell him and see him,
that's what I don't understand. Why don't you just why are you helping Brighton in this situation by giving him a guy who's going to improve their team? Tell him fuck them. We'll just pay you the money for CAICEDO.
Exactly.
Scott, it's fucking Brighton, mate, not Man United. It's Brighton, Scott. What do you mean? Why are we telling Brighton to fuck off?
Liverpool is already being targeted by Liverpool and Man City. We know that already. Why are we going to potentially lose a potentially top CB who could be for us for our own
or next John Terry potentially?
Yeah. So listen,
But
man,
this
let's be
is
real, man.
Ahmed, this is my point was when I say send him out of loan and get better offer for Caicedo, you tie him down to a new contract.
Listen, we don't. But no. But the thing is,
I don't think he'd want that, Ziyad.
His contract.
Okay,
His contract
now what is this shit?
Ziyad, his contract. He wants game time. That's what he wants. It's as simple as that.
Brother,
We know what he wants.
we're gonna give you game time after one season. What's your problem?
No,
The
it's
thing
not
is,
one
though-
season though. Even in the championship season, which was the season before this, which was at, I think, was it Huddersfield, right?
Huddersfield,
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was at Huddersfield. He was really good there as well. And the club were trying to. And last season, the club were trying to
But
make
he-
him.
You're not
Ahmed, he
understanding
was
my point, you're
holding
not
in the
understanding.
summer. He was holding the club at ransom because he wasn't guaranteed. He was holding Tuchel in the club at ransom because he wasn't guaranteed minutes. At that point, I was like, bro, you play for championship. I want to see you play with the Premier League. You shouldn't be guaranteed minutes in the Premier League just where you came from a championship. Just like Ian Matson, if he comes in, he's like, hey, I want guaranteed minutes. I did really well at Hull City. Like, bro, I want to see how you do in the Premier League first. You got to prove yourself. You can't be guaranteed minutes. This idea that you're guaranteed minutes is absurd. Now, after he played from Brighton, seeing where Brighton is at, he has the right to ask for minutes. He has the right to get, he's proven that he should be guaranteed some minutes. But at the same time, you got Benoit Badiashile, who's been stellar for us. I think he should compete. And if he's as good as he says he is, then it shouldn't be an issue. Then you should see the pathway.
Thank you, Marshall. That's all it is. And it's one more season. I'm not saying fuck off for 4 years. Sign a contract extension at your boy club. Go prove yourself for one more season and then come back. Well,
I don't know about loaning him. I would say either sell him or just bring him and have him prove himself. Don't guarantee him the minutes. But
there is no incentive for him to sign a new contract. Absolutely none.
Why?
But
there's no reason not to.
What's the incentive for him to sign a new contract then?
You go on loan for another season.
One more season.
That's not an
Let me
incentive.
finish.
That's a deterrent.
Let me finish. Let me finish. All right. You're gonna go. Okay, we're gonna allow you to go and develop more at another club, and then come back in next season and then fight for your squad. Yeah.
I still don't see why he can't come when we still got.
It's one season, Scott.
We could actually throw COLWILL in the FA Cup games a lot of times as well, like FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and
he would hate that. He would
So-
want to kill
so this
himself.
way-
What?
that's
No,
what he
but
wants, right?
and Premier League.
Carabao Cup.
Your mic don't agree with you. They're shouting now. Like he.
What are you,
Yeah, you should shout.
Can I ask what aren't you guys getting that? It's not this generation of footballers. It's not about waiting until they're 21, 22, 23. They're not thinking like that anymore. Players are getting played more at a younger age.
Exactly.
If he wants to play continuous minutes to his development, and he doesn't see that at Chelsea, he's not signing a new contract. It's not like American sports where the teams are mostly in control of the contracts. This is the players decide the contracts. If they go to him this summer and he has a conversation with Poch and he doesn't like what he hears, he's not signing a new contract. Therefore, he has to be sold. And that's the point. So you going, it's only Brighton or something like that. It's not about Brighton. It's about playing at Brighton, establishing yourself, and then getting a move to a bigger club. That's what it will be. So I don't
But what
understand
you
why you
just
guys
said
aren't
there,
getting that.
Andrew, is down to COLWILL. What you just said there, Andrew, is down to COLWILL.
Yeah, but you
right?
make it
Go-
sound like
him speaking to Poch.
you make it sound like we can just go sign a new contract and send you on loan to Brighton again. He has a choice. He doesn't have to sign.
Yeah, he doesn't have to.
But
I don't think he would.
if he goes and speaks to Poch and says, I don't like what you're saying, that's down to him.
Right.
That's
But
not
he
down
has
to
to
the
be
club.
sold then.
I was going to say, but
That's down
also,
to him.
people need to get this idea in their mind as well, because it's something you mentioned earlier, Ziyad, and I understand where it comes from, but people need to get this, people need to stop thinking in terms of being a fan for a moment. These players, as we're seeing with another player that's about to leave, they don't care about where they make it, as long as they make it at the end of the day. There are so few players nowadays that give a shit about playing for the club they support. Jadon Sancho is a Chelsea fan, playing for Manchester United.
Exactly.
Alphonso Davies is a Chelsea fan, playing for Bayern Munich. Mason Mount is a supposed proper Chelsea, about to go to Man United, who's also linked heavily with Arsenal.
Let's have it right.
Declan Rice, who's apparently a Chelsea fan, was heavily linked with Arsenal. Tammy Abraham, who's an Arsenal fan, came through our academy. They don't give a shit Atari Kane as well was an Arsenal fan, apparently. Came through the Tottenham Academy. These players don't care where they play as long as they get to that level. And Cenac hit it perfectly and absolutely perfect in that comment. He is betting on his ability. And more often than not, when these players do that, they succeed. It's because they believe in that ability. And that's the thing we see with so many other players. So many players bet on their ability. And more often than not, we saw it to a lesser extent. Livramento, when he went out, straight away hit. Injury was a problem, but hit straight away. We saw it, as I said, Musiala. There are other mitigating circumstances to why he left the academy, but went to Germany, knew he would hit. We saw it, as I said, Sancho. It has gone wrong now, but knew he couldn't get in at City. Went to the what's it called? To thingy and hit. These guys are not.
What about the Chelsea guy that was at Brighton? That was the left back. I forgot his name. On the right back. What? I forget his name.
Lamptey.
Yeah, even Lamptey. Yeah, Lamptey was another one where he actually banked it, but then injuries obviously hampered him.
Yeah, these guys believe in themselves. That's where these guys are at, and they are not waiting anymore. They believe in themselves. They're taking that chance.
I agree, Scott. But if he can't wait one more season, then that's down to him.
Yeah, look, it's at the end of the day, it is up to Levi Colwill and see what you guys just said. Depending on what Poch says to him and if he likes what he says, it's up to him. I think at the end of the day, the player does have to look out for himself and his own career. And if that means he has to go to another club that's going to guarantee him minutes, that's our loss. And maybe it's his loss. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it's going to be up to him. We'll see what happens. I'm for keeping Colwill, but at the same time, I do want Caicedo. And if maybe something can happen there, I at that point, like I said earlier, I'd rather just sell off Colwill. We'll take our losses. We'll see what happens. If he becomes the next JT, then that's on us. And if he doesn't, then we got a deal out of it because we got Caicedo, who's proven. But I just want to just real quickly, 115 of you guys watching. Let's get up to 80 likes. Thank you so much for sticking around. A few more stories to discuss, and then we're gonna call it here. But real quick, just quick breaking news. We did get a little bit of an update on the Ugarte situation. Thank you, Ahmed, for the tweet. The Secret Scout, who we've previously used as a source here, understand Ugarte to Chelsea is still a while off from being done. PSG still in talks with highly rated 22-year-old. Chelsea will have further talks with representatives across the next few days, aim to show how key Ugarte will be for the club. So apparently it's still in discussions. We will know more so when you have the Fabrizio tweets come out, but maybe it's not as done as we thought it was.
No, I think what's happened is that I think the club, the Chelsea and the player have agreed to something. It's just about, I think, Chelsea and Sport Lisbon finishing off whatever they have to do in terms of the paperwork and then giving the contract to the player to sign off. That's what I think we are at currently. That's what I think. That's what, from what I'm seeing from the last two reports, like the Secret Scouts one, it just seems like he's just read everyone's and then just said, ala kulli hal, which is Arabic for in conclusion.
That's basically, no one's actually. By the way, if you just jumping up, nothing's been confirmed. It's just rumors. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no one's actually. He's just pointing out a fact that, but no one else has confirmed it. They've just said, it's just rumors. It's not done until it's done, like any transfer. So it's not really him. If you're looking at going, don't ever go at him for going. Yeah, he's just. That's just an opinion. That's fine. But we know it's not done because he's not holding it. It's not been confirmed by the club. So until that's done, then just just take every report you hear about any Chelsea transfer in or out with a pinch of salt.
And shout out to the Blue Lounge. Ziad, he's got a question for you.
Oh,
question for the Ziyech.
One more.
Don't you think he would be? I think he's referring to Levi Colwill. Don't you think he would be better off at a different club for his career development?
Yeah, maybe.
What
is he?
No, we're just talking about
Ziyech.
Colwill. I think we were just talking about Colwill. I mean, why not?
I don't know.
Ziyech.
Listen, Ziyech doesn't need development. He's talking about Colwill, I think.
No, he's talking about Ziyech. He's 100% talking about Ziyech. He's taking the piss.
Okay, in terms of he's taking the piss.
One more down.
Oh shit! Okay, he's talking about Ziyech.
Okay, he's talking about Ziyech, bro.
One more down.
Yeah, I definitely. No,
You just made his weekend, bro. You just made Ziyech's weekend, bro.
Listen, Blue Lounge. I definitely think he needs to go from this toxic club of a fan base. He needs to go to a club that can treat.
Move on, man. Move on, man. Move on, man.
No,
You're 2 hours in and we haven't got to Mount or Kai yet.
I was going to say, we haven't got to
Yeah, these are the last 2 topics we're going to talk about.
We're done, man.
So, yeah, so he should go and pull out somewhere else. No, he's going to pull out somewhere else, Blue Lounge.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, I agree with Ziad, but we move. Okay, the next topic that I wanted to discuss was the situation happening with United and Mason Mount. So last we did the show, we were all excited. We thought personal terms were agreed and all that, but more details came out. We got a little ahead of ourselves, uncharacteristically, I should say. But it is what it is. It happens. You wonder why. But a little bit of news regarding the United transfer with Mason Mount. So Manchester United could offer Harry Maguire as part of a transfer package to try to sign Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount. Hey, none of this, okay? Zero talks. Fabrizio Romano, thank you so much. Zero talks between Chelsea and Harry Maguire to this day. Okay, good. Even have Kai saying he'd rather keep Mount than bringing Harry Maguire.
We're struggling to see whether Cole is going to stay for another season, but we're going to accept Maguire and then fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, thank you.
Yeah.
But onto the more serious news, though. So here we have Fabrizio Romano reporting no personal terms are done between Mount and Man United. However, Man United are optimistic. They feel Mount is keen and that they would not have a problem agreeing to personal terms. Then Fabrizio reporting again, main problem between the clubs is that Manchester United want to spend 45 to 5 million. I'm assuming that's pounds, but Chelsea want way more for Mount, which I think is fair to ask. Mason Mount keen on joining Manchester United as talks are taking place behind the scenes. No issues on personal terms, but deal not advanced yet as there's a big gap between clubs. Chelsea keep asking for at least 80 million euros fee from Mount. Deal not imminent at this stage. And then it is PR merchant, man. It is understood Mount has rejected several offers. The highest one was about 200,000 pounds a week. Yeah, that's Mbappe money. You know what I'm saying, bro?
It goes there.
Yeah. And then the last tweet I have here from Tom Roddy of Type of Sport. Chelsea insiders say salary and bonuses prove to be the major sticking point and insist the owners have done everything possible to keep Mount, but say the player has not wanted to engage and has left negotiations to his representatives. He has rejected offers so far from Chelsea. Many of these claims are disputed by Mount, by sources close to Mount. Now, there's 2 parties in this whole situation. One of the parties, the propagandist party, saying that apparently Mount was offered one deal. And as soon as Win Stanley and all them came in, we didn't engage anymore. And it was a shit deal. He was never offered 200, whatever, yada, 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 all this and that. And then you have the other side, the reporters reporting that apparently he was given a bunch of offers, that Bowley and everyone else was trying their best to accommodate this guy and give him something close to what he wants, because at the end of the day, this guy wants 300K a week. And he just didn't budge. He wanted what he wanted. So listen, I don't know what the truth is going to be. Hopefully we do find out the truth of the situation so this can be all put to rest. But it's looking like he is going to go to United. They're going to come to an agreement. It's probably going to be somewhere, I would guess, 65 to 60 million euro contract, possibly. I think that's reasonable to give. Yes. Listen, at the end of the day, Mount was free for us. We didn't pay a dime for Mount, so I'd take anything from Mount at this point.
So I need to shoot, because I need to go on Sarcasm City. So I need to just say this about both these players, the other one that's coming up. So
sure.
The truth is somewhere in between the middle. I don't listen to that cuck Ahmeds Goldberg because he's got the balls of the mouth in his mouth. So I don't believe what he says whatsoever, right? Listen, I know we wouldn't offer this guy just one thing in February and not have any further discussion with him. I don't believe that whatsoever. Whether it's 200K or not, it don't matter. We offered him something. It's done. It's not, that's what happened. Negotiations happen. We think he's worth something. He thinks he's worth something. They can't meet. He has to go. I think the price will be anywhere between 55 to 65 add-ons or something like that, because that's a new thing now in football, and we should accept it and move on. And you can take all those mountebaiters, you can go with them as well. Second of all, with Kai, if they finesse anything out of Real Madrid, 45 million or above for Kai Havertz, then that is one of the greatest sales in this club's history. Honestly, they can take that. They can take that meth-addicted looking baby
Jesus
giraffe out of
Christ.
this rat-faced goon.
Leave the poor man alone.
This rat-faced goon can go, okay?
Leave
This
Havertz
guy,
alone.
I think he's put 9 through balls through for like. Honestly, these two can both go. Honestly, I've never seen mediocre players hyped up from any football club before like these two players, okay? I don't care if he's got an open play assist in the Champions League final or Kai scored the winner. I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, they can both go and we can be happy with them, because we should replace them with better players in Nkunku and a striker and the midfielders and stuff like that. They can go. And I want to say this. Get the likes up, please. Try and get near to 100 as close as we can. Thank you, Mo. But I'm going to go now, and I will speak to you guys multiple times, because that's what we do later this week. All right. I'll see you later.
Big up.
Big up, Andrew. We'll talk about Kai in a bit, but go ahead and let's discuss the Mason Mount situation, boys.
I'm gonna start Mason Mount. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the contract stuff. So
Go for it.
I've had I know that basically
Been talking to the brown envelopes, Ahmed?
And basically, I know before the World Cup thing, that actually is legit. That agreement was basically very, very close, and they almost basically had the agreement done then. But when the supporting directors came in January, they restarted the negotiations again. So when I heard that, that basically meant to me that whatever Bowley and Co had done, in terms of contract offer, when the supporting directors came in to have a look at what they had basically given Mount, they probably were like, no, that's too much. Either it was too heavily slung to Mount, something was not adding up, but they were like, you've given him too much. I don't think he's worth this much, and then we have to go back and renegotiate something. And that's for me where I think, the situation has become. And because Mount and his agent and whomever were assuming that was the previous contract, that's what they agreed upon. That's probably what they have wanted, in my opinion. And that's what I think's happened.
I do find it a little odd though that the club didn't value him at the original contract negotiation that was being put on the table. We do want to sell him for 80 million euros.
But again, Marshall, that was Bowley and Igbali that were doing the contract negotiation.
Sure.
Back in November.
I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is though, if Winstanley or Vivell or whoever at the time. It's reported that it's Winstanley. If Winstanley came in and said I don't value this player at this much, but now Winstanley's also the one negotiating contracts. If I'm not mistaken, he's also the one negotiating the contracts for selling these players. He's overvaluing Mount as well. If he doesn't believe that value he's putting out there, if it's 80 million euros.
The reality is, it's not true. It's not necessarily true, right? They're probably always going to say something that's really high, try to get as much money as possible. I think Mount's probably going to get sold for 60 to 65 million pounds. Let's be real, guys.
Can I be honest though?
Go ahead,
can I be honest? Sorry, Ahmed. Would Chelsea have bought Mount for 65 in 15-14 season?
For a 1 year,
we wouldn't even came close to buying him if he wasn't our player. So this fan base, bro, come on, man. He's not that player, man. We're making it more than it is.
Yeah, but as I've been trying to say anyway, it's just that obviously the sporting directors probably did not value him at the contract that he was given, and they tried to renegotiate it. And I don't think Mount liked that, basically, essentially. So
even when he was sorry, go on, Scott.
I'd say also the thing is they kind of did value him to a certain extent because on the money side, because they reportedly offered him a 1 year extension on increased wages of 200 grand a week, for just where he had the chance to prove himself. We talked about people proving themselves. He had the chance to prove that he deserved those wages and had the chance to get an increase. Instead of accepting that, he chose to say no. So it just shows that he's not interested in proving himself. This is the thing. This is someone who isn't interested in proving himself. This is someone who is just interested in getting what he wants, and in terms of a monetary sense.
So he rejected 200k a week, and he calls himself proper.
Reportedly,
I don't know
if it was the second. I don't know if it was the second or the third contract offer we gave was a 1-year extension at 200 grand.
It was the last one. It was the last one. The last one was the one.
Yeah, so with an like, and
extension.
the wording that was used was like with the potential, like with looking at it like next year, with reassessing next year. Or something like that.
And Mount supposedly took that as a ploy to increase his value, which no.
Well, I mean, if we get him for 60, 70 million, our top scored this 5 times. This is the biggest robbery in Premier League history. Because even when he was, well, I mean, yeah, but even if he balls out, even when he was balling out for us on the Tuchel in that Champions League run, even then he wasn't a 70 million pound player. So imagine now, it's crazy. If I could take the money around, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said before, if we come to terms with maybe like 60, even 50, to be honest, I think
like add-ons or bonuses depending on certain things.
I'd be happy with that, especially he's only on 1 year too.
Yeah, I said 55 million as a main amount, and then plus 10 million add-ons to make it a 65 million deal. I feel like that would be a smart deal to make anyway. 55 plus 10.
I agree, but we'll see what happens in Mount. Hopefully this deal does get closed up. And you look, it's not just Man United. Like, I know they've been quiet, but there's other suitors for him. I don't think Liverpool anymore because it looks like they're getting closer to McAllister than they are.
I'll say they're signing better players. They're getting closer to McAllister.
Arsenal, maybe. I don't think Arsenal are off the table. We will see what happens with that, but it is getting close to United, and I think United can give him the money that he does want, or close to the salary that he wants. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, actually,
you don't have a tweet for this, I don't think, Marshall. But there was actually a Liverpool report that said that he's going to United rather than Liverpool because of money and because of the Champions League. So, not only does that back the salary thing, but also a bit of what Harry was saying about he wants to go to the Champions League kind of thing. So
yeah, true. Yeah, we did have Harry discuss that before. Yeah. Okay. So we got one more topic for you guys in the chat. Make sure if you haven't done so already, you are smashing that like button. It does help out the channel tremendously. And guys, consider becoming a member. We have membership starting at 99p. We have fun emojis to use, and we will be adding more as the community grows because that's how it works here on YouTube. But it does help us out tremendously. So thank you guys who have been smashing that like button. We're at 80. Let's try to get 90. And big up to everyone and the panel as well. So last topic that I did want to discuss with you guys is little bit of a sad one for me, but I have to accept it because at the end of the day, I am a Chelsea fan and I am not a stan. Okay, I do like this player, but it just didn't work out with Chelsea. So listen, we're gonna discuss Madrid potentially wanting Kai Havertz to come to the club. So let me just get this set up real quick. All right, first tweet that I have to share with you guys is the following right here. Okay, breaking. Real Madrid will turn their attention to Kai Havertz if they can't get Harry Kane. Pochettino would not mind if he left for another signing. He is not priority in his plans. So we go ahead. Did I read that right? Yeah, Pochettino. Okay. Which is I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird considering that he doesn't want Felix. I thought maybe he would stick with Nkunku and Havertz, but it seems that Pochettino just wants to stick with just one, and that's Nkunku. But we move. The next tweet I have here is Chelsea are open to negotiating. Real quick. Chelsea are open to negotiating for Kai Havertz. Real Madrid really appreciate Kai Havertz. He was one of the names mentioned in a meeting with Carlo Ancelotti and the board. Carlo is a big fan of Kai. As much as I don't want to see Kai Havertz play as a number 9, one of the reasons that I wanted Ancelotti to come to Chelsea, and he was one of my first choices if it was a viable thing, was because he does get team scoring, and I think he would have gotten the best out of someone like Kai and the rest of our attack. Hey, I stick to my guns on that one. So Chelsea are open to Kai Havertz sale, but they want big money. Real Madrid are interested. Now we have another tweet. In addition to Havertz, Chelsea are open to talks for Ziyech, Oba, and Pulisic. They're not safe at all. And Real Madrid expect a deal for Kai Havertz to cost £86 million. God damn. Okay, that's a lot of
somebody-
money.
You know we're going to be making profit. We're going to make profit, you know. That actually will be
That's
profit. for us.
unreal. If we make profit on this, brother, Jesus Christ.
Because remember, we brought in
If
for
it's
72
that
million.
much,
Because
it's
we
a
brought
lot.
in. Because remember, we brought in for
Bro.
72 million.
Like us, bro,
Yeah,
there's a little bit more
knighthood.
profit.
Whoever's organising this deal, whoever gets that deal over the line, knighthood. Give them, make them the mayor of London.
You know, I thought,
Real Madrid-
Morata's deal was crazy, but this would be even more crazy.
Yeah,
We still
Real
want to-
Madrid want to go for Kai Havertz. It does not depend on Karim Benzema staying or leaving. Coming from Fabrizio Romano here, and that's the latest. Listen, you guys know where I stand with Kai Havertz. I don't think he's a shit player, but I think he's been absolutely disgustingly shit for Chelsea, and it hurts me to say that because I did rate this player a lot. I still do. I still think he has potential to be a really good player, just not for Chelsea. So, listen, we'll see.
But he stinks, man.
No.
He stinks.
No, he doesn't.
Man.
He's not. He's a good player. It just doesn't work out for
He
Chelsea.
hasn't showed any real quality, like in the last, especially couple of years.
For Chelsea.
Well, he's been here for what, nearly 4 years now.
Bro, what does he do? What does he
It's
do?
like me saying for Timo Werner, oh, he doesn't do it for Chelsea, but he did it for Leipzig.
No, but you defend Timo at Chelsea. I don't defend Havertz.
I didn't. Yeah, but I knew he had to go after.
Look at all his assists. You always bring up. Oh, look at all the plays and all that stuff. You always defend him.
He's actually better than Kai Havertz for GA. Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying, for Chelsea, I don't think he's good enough. But he will go to Real Madrid. He will go to Bayern or another Bundesliga team, and I think he'll do just fine.
Bayern don't want him, man. That's Bayern don't want him because they don't think he's good enough.
You need to let it go, man. Let it go, bro. He's not him.
I am letting it go. I'm not fighting for him to stay at Chelsea. I'm just saying he's going to go to another club, and I think he's going to do well. I think he's a good player. It just didn't work out at Chelsea. I don't think the Premier League is the league for him, just like I say the same thing for Ziyech. I don't think Premier League is the same thing for Ziyech.
He's
the
rotational
league.
at Real Madrid. He won't be bench exactly, but
You do realize he's going to Real Madrid to be a rotational player, right? That's how they see him.
I don't know if you've got the tweet, but there's a tweet that literally comes from a report in Spain. I think is that they see him as the replacement for Marco Asensio.
Basically,
they're talking about they want him for his versatility as well. So that kind of goes in the face of everyone that says he's just a number 10, right?
No, it's not just number 10.
This is going to be great. There is a potential, by the way, of this being. If we get all the reported outgoings and incomings, there is a potential for this to be the greatest transfer window we've ever had.
And by the way, I do want to.
If we get rid of him and Mount and Gallagher, and we get the likes of Caicedo, Ugarte, and potentially Osimhen, and Kunku coming back as well. This could be the greatest transfer window we've had in potentially ever, definitely in so long.
My only concern with getting rid of Havertz and this isn't really related to him. It's really about who's going to back in Kunku as the second choice number 10. And if it wasn't for the season that just happened, my immediate thing would be Carney. But I expect him to go on loan next season because he just hasn't gotten a fair shake of it in the season just gone. So why should he expect to get the same thing? Or why should he expect better next season? So
Oliver, I wouldn't be surprised if you buy someone in it. I think we're gonna buy another player.
I don't know if we buy someone. I think the plan might be. I said, do you know what the plan might be? The plan might be to and maybe this goes along with the midfielders thing. Is maybe the plan is we don't have a backup number 10, but it's you have other guys there. You can have Enzo who could potentially push slightly further up, or you just go to a 3-man midfield in terms of a flat 3.
Sure.
Maybe.
Rather than a 2 and a 1, a double pivot and then
maybe not play with the 10 in general.
Yeah, or as I said, you push Poch. It's not Poch. You push Enzo slightly higher into the 10 position, or maybe you play. Fuck knows, depends who else we have. You've got other options that you can do. And as I said, I think Chukwuemeka will be given the chance this season. Also, it depends on pre-season and what happens. But you've got a few other guys who can play there.
Keep Ziyech as well. Oh, I love it.
He's getting sold.
No, it's not happening.
Mate, Havertz leaving, Ziyech is staying. Oh, I love it.
Do you guys think that it's possible? Do you guys think it's possible that if depending on what happens first, if Havertz does get sold, that maybe we reconsider the whole João Felix situation then?
No, that's not happening. I don't think that's happening. We'd just kept him on loan, anyway.
Yeah. The thing too is look, I know you guys don't agree. We'll see what happens. I think in another league where Havertz has more time on the ball, more space, and Ancelotti, who we've seen what he does with attack, he just knows how to get teams to score goals. I think he can get a lot. Later, Kai. We'll talk to you. Thanks for coming on, man. I think with a manager like Ancelotti, it depends also if Ancelotti stays. We're not necessarily sure what's happening with that, but if he stays, I do think he can get a tune out of Kai. I really do. I think this kid was so good at Leverkusen, and it just doesn't work out here at Chelsea. I think another league.
I'm gonna be real, and I said this before. Like, he can go there and cook. I don't care. Like,
yeah. At the end of the day, like, this is why I'm like not upset about it. Like, super gloom and doom. You don't see me going on Spaces crying about it, but like, you know, at the end of the day, if he does well I'll be happy for him and for Ziyech if they do well at other clubs. But at the end of the day, I'll be happiest if Chelsea does well.
We should only care about these kind of things if we look at it like in 2-3 years' time and he's played really well at Madrid. The only reason we should ever regret it is if it was like, oh, we didn't give him a chance. And
we gave him plenty of chances. Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying about giving him a chance here. He's had plenty of opportunities here. And this is where, when people try and compare this to a Kevin De Bruyne, it's nowhere near, because Kevin De Bruyne had a handful of chances, and we sold him.
Yeah.
Havertz has had over 100 appearances at this club, and he's been a starter for. Yeah,
he's played in every attacking position possible, and he has still not managed to nail down an exact position, apart from maybe striker, which people still say he isn't. And even if he has nailed down an exact position, he's not been convincing at any point in the season, apart from a month during the season.
That's honestly what bothers me. Of all the positions he's nailed down probably one of his. Not one of his worst. I think with right wing is a lot.
Probably
worse for him.
second best position, maybe third best.
If I had to say his best positions, I would say 10, false 9, and then striker would be third.
False 9 and striker are the same thing in terms of like positionally in a positional sense. A false 9 is a type of striker. Like
false 9 is just a way of playing the striker role, just like a target man is a way of playing as a striker.
Where like a number 9 is a Lukaku and a false 9 is more of a Harry Kane. That's the way I see it. Someone who's more involved with the play and build up. Isn't necessarily stuck in the box the whole time.
Yeah, but they're still strikers.
Yeah, but like I mean, yeah, sure. But at least with the number 10 position, when I've seen Havertz play the number 10 position, how he gets involved with the game and how he gets involved with the rest of the team, it's impressive, and I like it. But it's not good enough for Chelsea. Yeah, at least we haven't seen it's good enough for Chelsea.
Like
that against Scott.
He's such an average number 10. Like it depends. Like it kind of depends on what you want your number 10 to be. But like the way I like my number 10s, it's kind of a dying breed. But I like it like a Mata, and it's kind of a dying breed in football. But he's not that number 10, and that just ain't for me. He's not that type of number 10.
Listen, at the end of the day, we all agree. It has to be the coach first.
At the end of the day, he's never fit the Premier League, man. In my opinion.
Yeah, he's whack. Oh yeah, sure.
Also, I said this the other day on, I think, Lewis's stream, and I just need to bring this up again. He only has one more goal in all comps this season than Lukaku got last season in the league, and Lukaku played half the minutes. Also in a system that didn't suit him, where he was barely getting touches some games. Like there's no world in which you can tell me that Kai Havertz has been a positive for this football club. Apart from that one moment, Kai Havertz has not been in any way, shape, or form a positive for this football club.
Champions League run, but I
said apart from that one moment, because it's not even the run, it's the goal in the final. Like, apart from that, he has not had a positive effect on this football club.
On that note, boys and girls, we're gonna go ahead and call this a show. Listen, we're gonna be back Wednesday, I believe, with more of the Casually Chelsea show. Tomorrow we're taking a break as I need to go out and do some things related to my life. But go ahead and spam this raid message. We're gonna go ahead and raid the usual suspects at Sarcasm City. My boy there is happy to hear all this news about Mason Mount. He's a big Mason Mount fan. He'll deny it, but you got to go there and convince him. So go ahead, copy and paste that. I thank you everyone who came along today to join the show. Thank you all the panelists as well. Ahmed, Scott, Winter Surfer, Ziyad, who's not normal here, but hey man, welcome to the stream, brother. Chris,
Big up, guys, man.
Oliver.
Big up.
And yeah, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and call it. Make sure if you haven't done so already, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1,900 subscribers. Hopefully we can get there very soon, and hopefully we can get to 2K. We have something big in store for you guys for 2K. So make sure you go ahead and help us hit that number. And we'll be back again Wednesday, like I said, for more Casually FC. There might be some other streams as well in between those days. We'll see how that plans out. Make sure you hit the bell notification. You don't miss out when that does happen. Leave a comment down below. Check out the links in the description. And check out our memberships. It's really cheap, 99p. That's like cheaper than a coffee. That's cheaper than a bag of chips or crisp, as you guys like to call them in the UK. So, shut up. But yeah, big up to everyone. I'll see you over on Sarcasm City's channel, and next time we stream, which will be Wednesday, for the Casually FC show for more news, and hopefully Ugarte is done. But as usual, guys, have a good night. Stay casual.